All right, here we are. So, let me make sure I'm actually live. Because, as with modern technology, they always feel the need to randomly update where everything goes and not really tell you. So you have to figure it out every fucking time. And it's so fucking annoying. Maybe I'm just becoming an old boomer or something. But yeah, okay. Modern technology. Okay, yeah, it looks good on my end. Uh-oh, what just happened? Lost the screen. That was weird. Alright, make sure it's gonna be stable now. Oh no, now it froze. Shit. Hang on. That's how this goes, man. Let's do this. Shit works great all the time. It's a live stream and everything for just some reason just decides not to work. I kind of want to try Returnal again. I'm looking at my gaming screen now. I kind of want to try that, but I think I will try it to see if it can handle it on a live stream. If it starts lagging, I'm just gonna turn it off. Because it was lagging when I played games like that before, or I tried it a while back. I'm gonna try Returnal. What's up, all out testing? What's up, nuclear? What's up, nuclear bomb? So I'm gonna try Returnal now to see how it works on live stream. If this fucks up, I'm just gonna go back to Blasphemous. I haven't played this game in a long time, by the way. Well, I really enjoyed it. I got to the first boss, and with that one, it's just one gun you get that it's like a net gun, and it's pretty much just like the easiest gun to use in the game. And oh god, and I just fucked it up and died at the last minute, so I had to go back and restart the whole boss, and I just it wasn't like a bad situation. I just kind of got tired of playing it at the time. I wasn't expecting this. Compiling shaders. Is it working? This looks like it froze too. This is how it goes, man. Life works. Technology works great until you live stream, and it just it's fucking aware. I swear it's aware. Like electronics are aware. If you ever worked in television or media, you know this shit. This is how it goes. It'll work completely fine, and then as soon as you decide to go, you decide to go live with it or try to do anything relatively important with it, it just goes to shit. Yeah, I think it froze. Oh no, here it is. Okay. What's up, Mr. Emoji? We live. I got my Wii U sitting right here. I just never fucking play it. I need to play it. Let me see if I can remember how to play. I don't think it's too hard. I don't think it's too difficult to play though. It's just like a casual kind of rogue light, I think they call it. But so the theory is every time you die, you crash land back, and that's part of the mystery. You don't really know why it's going on, at least at this point in the game. Oh yeah, I gotta go back and find the white. Let me make sure it's gonna be. I'm just gonna test it in here to make sure it's not lagging on the live stream, and also try to remember the buttons. Oh, that's right. I got the physical. Yeah, so I could cut shit now. But I really do enjoy this game. I think it's a really this is one of those games like you have to play it. Like when I watch this game, when I watched people play this game, like I really didn't like. I did not like. Okay, so it looks like it's running smooth on my end. I would watch reviews of this game, and I really didn't like it like at all. And I fucked around and tried it, and didn't like it for the first maybe. Didn't like it at first, and then fucking loved it after the story started kicking in. Oh shit. Yeah, so it looks like it's running smooth now. So I think whatever I did last time fixed it. So okay, so for those of you who may be wondering, because maybe you may have this issue, so I'll just for those of you who may be wondering, what I think fixed it was you have to delete like anything you're not using in your in the Streamlabs. That's what seemed to fix it for me. I would say lower the resolution, do all that the basic shit of like, just the output in general. And then so it looks like what I did that fixed it was you have to delete like if you're not using like an audio output or input or like any type of screen, just delete any extra shit in the sources or the scenes. If you're not using it, just delete it. And that's what seems to have fixed it on my end. Because this was not running smooth at all. Like, I wouldn't even have tried this a month ago. Oh, God. Oh. I need another gun. This gun fucking sucks. What was this? Was that smooth? So next live stream, I'm gonna up the resolution because I could definitely see the resolutions like it's definitely not the best, but it's holding up, which I'm happy. So I can't complain because like I said, a month ago there was no fucking chance that I'd be able to run this. Yeah, I forgot all this shit. It's been about 2 months since I played this last. I'm just gonna play it like regular. Because I don't remember. I have no memory on where to go next. Oh, wait, now I can try this one. Okay, yeah. I forgot. Oh, God, that was a mistake. No! Come on. Shit. Can you get health? I can't remember. Okay, yeah. So this is the okay. Yes, this is how you get forget. This is how you get guns. It's like different areas like this. Pretty much any gun's gonna be better than what I got now. What's this? What's this? Spit. I think that's a shotgun. Yeah, no, that's not good in a game like this. I'm probably gonna die anyway, but yeah, it looks like it's still running smooth. Ooh. Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Ah, fuck. The character, yeah, like the character runs like it's all. It look like if you don't play it, like it looks like shit if you don't play it. Like I said, like I used to watch people play it. I seen reviews and people liked it in the reviews and like so. Like if you don't play it, like and you're just like kind of watching the character, it looks like she's like almost like it's like a poor running animation. It looks like she's almost like gliding and running at the same time. It doesn't look good. But like if you play it, like you're not looking at that, so you don't see it. Like you're just kind of like trying to like look at what's out there. But yeah, like I said, man, like I just recommend, like I really just recommend you, like if you haven't played it, I would definitely recommend if you can get it on a sale because you may not like it, but if you can get it on a sale or something, like definitely try it. But remember, it's a roguelite, so like it's not like it's not exactly linear. Like, well, as you, I don't know if you started off watching it, you can see how like this was not the same first level that I started on. So like every level is like generated. It's not gonna be the same shit until you get to a boss fight. Okay, so the reason why I'll show you like so the reason why my map is like this now is this like relatively speaking. If I remember correctly, I could just take the same path and get like directly to the boss. But like other ways will still be like it's not a complete roguelike where like it's always just completely randomly generated. Like some parts still stay solid. But yeah. Oh god, get out of here. I keep hitting square when I mean to dash, and in this game, dash is circle on the PlayStation controller. That's why I keep like swinging the sword at like just the wrong time. I didn't know I could do that.
There are strange psychological encounters I've had with what can only be described as visual echoes of previous deaths. At first I avoided them, but I needed to know. When I follow these echoes, they lead to a corpse. I don't feel surprised anymore. Now it's a clinical choice. Repurpose their equipment or avenge them.
It's a deposit of imagine advisor. Oh. Yeah, see, that must be an upgrade I get later. I keep seeing that. Okay, I gotta go either up here. Okay. Oh, well, I can't go here because I need whatever this is. Wait. Okay. So I'm just gonna try to go to the boss. And, no, this is where I fucking started. Now I'm just being dumb as fuck right now. All right, so I got to go to that orange. Because I'm trying to like monitor the fucking stream and make sure it's not lagging and I'll try not to die. So I go here and then make a. I probably could just fast travel, but. This is Returnal. Yee. This is Returnal. Yeah, I've never seen this either. So this is some new shit. Can I shoot that? Oh yeah, I've never seen this. Streamlabs tagline: delete everything else. Yeah. What the f? Oh yeah. Okay. Is it running smooth? It looks like it's running smooth on my end. Oh shit. Oh god. So I forgot everything, man. Some kind of way I want to use what I just got, but I have no idea. Oh, that's camera mode. I don't want to do that. I don't know how to access it. Oh god, I don't want to go in there. Jesus Christ. Okay, looks like I got to. All right, well. What? No. Yeah, it looks like it's good. All right. Some kind of way. Oh, I see it right there. Can I go? Okay, so I gotta go backwards. Or can I even get? Yeah, so I can go there. Oh, I gotta get that. Fuck, I remember that. I gotta get some fucking this fucking key that's like in a not so pleasant place. I'm gonna try busting a left. First I buzz a right, then I buzz a left. Music so loud I almost went deaf. Oh God. Oh my golly. Get the fuck out of here. These motherfuckers. Oh God. Okay, yeah, so that's your house. So like this game, like so that's the house I was talking about in a stream a while back, which was pretty creepy shit. Like when you're playing it like with headphones and it's just you, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. That shit was like in this game, but it's definitely run down because it wasn't like this. When I first came here, it was like brand new. Now it's like all run. I could have swore it was like brand new. Now it's like run down. Like the attention to detail in this game is really good. But again, it's one of those games you really just have to play. You can't just like watching like I watched reviews on this game for like months, if not a year, and I just didn't think it'd be something I would like, and I think it's a pretty great game. I need health, bruh. I need HELF. Fabricates items. My man, I need health. I ain't got no time for that right now. Oh, I have all the language. Okay, our connection to our brethren is severed. Our agony is maddening. We cannot stop the endless cycle of violence to come. Yeah, I didn't have all the language unlocked. Okay. Oh, see, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's really interesting. So in this game, another thing I think is pretty cool is you have to decipher the language to learn like what the alien civilization was like and what they were going through. So one thing I find is cool. So a tier one you can see it's like super all jumbled up and only the English parts are in yellow. But it even like has them trying to guess what it means. So it's like on tier one it says blah 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 blah. Our severed brethren, agitated waters, like question like this. So they're trying to figure it out. That's a cool little addition. So there's no okay. So tier two, when I had the translation accuracy at 47%, you would have thought it was an octopus. I still remember that. I thought it was an octopus flight upstairs, so I didn't go. But when you actually get the whole translation or translation accuracy, it was actually our connection to our brothers. So there's no octopus there. So that would be something I think would be interesting to somebody like in my position who's trying to learn a language while living there and like all the little mistakes you'll make and like just or completely misunderstand where they were trying to go. That's actually really fucking cool how they did that. And at the end of this one, when I had like translation accuracy of 47%, he thought the last word was seizures. And with the question mark or she. That's actually a really cool. That's like something that would take some, you would have to have life experience to know to put that in a game, right? Based off your level of translation, like, and what you could think is where. That's actually really cool how they did that. I really like that. Oh God, this motherfucker. I don't know how to beat him. I remember him from a long time ago. I played. Well, I beat him that time. Is it running smooth? If it is, I'm really surprised, because... What's up, Ragarana? You finished Breath of the Wild? I'm trying to remember that boss fight. I can't remember that boss fight in Breath of the Wild, because I did beat Breath of the Wild, but I can't remember. I remember you were outside on a horse and trying to do something, but I don't remember like the actual. I still haven't beat Tears of the Kingdom. I fought like Ganon in that like first kind of like where it was him and like a bunch of motherfuckers and it okay. I was in like a castle. I had to swim up to that. I had to swim up to it, and I fought him like one time. And I really shouldn't have won that fight, but I just kind of like cheesed it. I kind of glitched it and ended up winning because I was getting ready to just give up. I still remember that. I was about to give up that fight, and I just found like just a kind of like a for lack of better words, a glitch that allowed me to hit him, but he couldn't hit me type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I fucked around and won, but I really shouldn't have won, like, at all. Like, I should have died. Like, I was getting ready to just, like, I had just gotten to the point where I was getting ready to just, you know, go get killed. And then at the last minute, I welded a fucking cannon to the shield, and I climbed like a part of the castle without you were inside fighting. And I found this one ledge to where like him or his like bad guy homies, they couldn't come and hit me, but I can just peek out enough and hold that shield up and time it right and shoot them, right? And I did that shit for about 25 minutes because it ain't do no damage. I fucking nickel and dime the fuck out of that fight. Like I pop out, and I had like you know like 8 shields or something like that because all your weapons can be destroyed in shields. So like. You only have so much of that charge shit left. So like and when one shield broke, like, whoop, that shield's broke. Apply another one, and it went out, bop, and then hit behind the corner. I was like, I think I might do this shit. I just bop, and then hide behind the corner. They go bop. I did that shit about 25 minutes, and I ended up winning. I ended up winning, but I shouldn't have won that shit. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't ready for that fight, like at all, dude. Like. I shouldn't have won. I'm trying to find where the health at. There's one up there. How do I get up there? But I can't remember the boss fight in Breath of the Wild. I can't remember like the actual fight. I just remember being outside and riding a horse, and Zelda was talking to you some kind of way. I remember that, but I can't remember. I'm trying to think. I can't remember the boss fight. I just can't remember at all. Drawing a complete blank. Why is that one red? Oh, let's go sit. Check it out. In my, I think Breath of the Wild. Well, Tears of the Kingdom is really like part 2 anyway. Oh, now I can read these. Okay, our brethren barter some citadel and sealed frag and the others in the vaults, but it will not stop them from sending out their call and digging into our minds, making our nightmares real. Wow, they was really going home. They was going through it. I wonder if I shoot you right in the fucking eyeball, would that hurt? Oh, okay. Do I have 3 of them motherfuckers? Oh, this is the boss fight. I remember this. I think, yeah, because I think that's probably my old body or some shit. This is the boss fight. I'm gonna die. There's like 3 phases to this motherfucker, and I do not have the right gun for this fight at all. I'm gonna get my cheeks clapped. Because the thing, it's just one of them bullet sponges. Like, this part is easy, but there's like 3 phases. And even with the right gun, like, I barely fucking got there. Oh, God. Like, it's really not that hard either. Like, especially if you just have, like, a good gun. Oh, God. I would... She's gonna smack me right in my motherfucking face. You see that shit? I'm watching the replay right now. Me getting my cheeks clapped. Like, it's really not that hard. Like, the thing is, like, it's really not that hard. It's not like a hard, because I'm playing Cuphead is way harder than this shit. It's just like awkwardly, that fight is just like awkwardly difficult kind of thing. Like, but it's not that hard. It's not like, you know, like Armored Core was just like ridiculous when it would do shit like that until you got like the flow of it. But this game really is not really that hard. I'm gonna leave it off right there because I've been playing for about an hour. So, but yeah, that's Returnal, man. Like, I really like it. I really enjoy. I think it's a really good game. I would recommend it, but I think like it's a hard recommend because I'll be honest. I'll be like when I watch people play it, I didn't like it at all. Really didn't like it. Let's do this. I really didn't care for it like at all. Like at all. There was nothing about it I thought looked like it would be interesting. But so you guys didn't see, but like because I'm just stuck on a certain part now. But when you get to when you get like I'm stuck, so you're not seeing any of the story like unravel. But the story is actually I think is an interesting story. As long as they don't do that control, like I really so for example, I really loved the game Control when I was playing it. I thought it was a great game. But in my opinion, hang on, what's this? In my opinion, I just felt like Control kind of it ended up being a bit too pretentious. I mean, with the whole mystery thing, like it was just too much. It didn't with the whole intentional map, like they would just like intentionally, um, hang on, you pause the game. They would intentionally put like that Metroidvania shit. Like they would just intentionally give you like a wrong map. Like why? Just tell me where to go. Like it's something you mean like it's like trying to add to the mystery in some like pretentious way when it really is just annoying kind of thing. And I just don't like Metroidvanias for that reason. And I think Control is just a 3D Metroidvania in my opinion. I think Control is a 3D Metroid. And again, I think the production value was great. I do like a bit of the mystery. I think that the aesthetic, everything was beautiful about the game. But there's just some point where you need to just wrap it up. Y'all remember the dude from Dave Chappelle? Wrap it up, B. Wrap it. Just at some point, you got to start wrapping some shit up. All right. I'm not getting ready to play along for the next 5 hours and still don't be knowing what the fuck's going. You know what I mean? I'm just running around. I was watching a YouTube video this morning about it was an animator, right? And the animator even said, he said, look, like you can have the most coolest characters, the 1,000 frames a second animation, but there's no story, you got nothing, right? And I strongly agree with him. I think the story is everything. You can have a game full of stick figures, but if there's a good story in there, a motherfucker will stick along for that great story versus if you just have like just a great looking game, but there's nothing in it, like there's just nothing you can do. Like for example, oh, it said something went wrong. Am I still live? Okay, yeah. So my iPad just fucked up. Am I still live? But there's no story. You got nothing. So maybe it was just my iPad that fucked up. But yeah, there's no story. Like, so for example, there was that one fighting game that had Dragon Ball Z, I think, and it was a beautiful game. And I still haven't played it, but that game, people said there was just no depth to it. And I've played games like that were beautiful but just had no real depth. Okay, yeah, it looks like I'm still live because I'm watching the part where I thought so my iPad must have just fucked up then. So, but yeah, I thought Control was great. I still got it somewhere in here on PlayStation 4. Because I traded a dude on Facebook Marketplace for that Jedi that fucking Jedi game that was on PlayStation 4. That was the only Star Wars game I ever bought because I don't like Star Wars. But I thought that might be all right because it looked great, and I just didn't care for it, man. Like I picked up on its routine real fast. It was that Jedi one, them current Jedi games, right? And I just didn't care. It looked great, but I just did. I think you have to be either a Star Wars fan or like one of them Souls fans to really like that game, because the first part that really massively threw me off with that game was you were the main character, that of course is you in that Star Wars Jedi Survivor or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, but it looks great. Um, you were some dude who, that typical story. You're just a regular average Joe who finds out he has powers or whatever the fuck, right? Or he's really talented or what, that typical cliche bullshit. And the first thing that really massively stood out to me was how they were trying to like play this lovable music and make him like this likable dude. Like, hey B2, I guess we need to go check out the blah, blah, blah. And then you just go like aimlessly slaughter like 40 dudes, and they'd be like, well, I guess that was kind of a trick. Like it was just severely imbalanced on a personality level. I mean, like that was the issue I had with Uncharted. That's why I could never get into Uncharted very well, even though I liked Uncharted for what it was, and I beat I think two or three of them. I haven't played all of them, but it was just that thing. Like they were just trying to make him this Disney lovable character, but he just like aimlessly murders like 1,000 people. You know what I mean? Within the span of like 3 days, and he just like. Guess I better go get some coffee. It's just too. I can't get. It's just too. It's too jarring for me. So like, but Uncharted was great too. But I couldn't get with the Jedi game because of that. That was the first thing that really just killed it for me. That jarring of what is he a heartless murderer or is he an empathetic lovable dude? Like which one is it? Like make up your mind. You know what I mean? Like or explain some shit and you know what's going on. Like this motherfucker is the definition of mental illness. You know what I mean? Like what the like this is not fun, right? And then the second part was the reason why I got tired of the Jedi game is because I picked up on his routine real quick. It would put you so it was you would have to go somewhere and you would see something be like, oh, I need to get over there. And every time you could not just get over there. You had to take some detour route of figuring out some, goofy little puzzle to get there. And you had to run around all these and it just kept doing it, dude. And it felt like busy work, man. Like the shit felt like busy. Like so I just gave up on it. And I traded a dude on Facebook Marketplace for control. He had control, and I wanted to try. So I said, "Yeah, I'll trade you for control." I still remember we met not too far from the brothel. Actually, that was like a random thing, but and we had to get change at this pharmacy because he needed some change because he traded me control and some money for the Jedi game. But yeah, control. I thought control was everything about control was great, but that whole eternal mystery shit mixed in with that Metroidvania, and we gonna intentionally give you a wrong map because we think it's fun. That shit ain't fun, bro. Just no. See, that's why we have GPS nowadays. That's why we have Google Maps because now we know where we going. All right. That Metroidvania, I'm running around for the next 3 hours not knowing where the fuck I'm supposed to go. See, no. If motherfuckers like that, they would have never invented GPS. All right? Point blank is I just can't do it. I love the game. I think Control is great. I think it's a beautiful game. I think it does a good job at the. I think it just goes overboard with the mystery. The fighting, like I remember, like when you walk into like this, like you're like in this underground. I think it's like an underground. No, you're in a building. I think you have to go up, but you come into this area and then like it's just people just like floating. Like there's no explanation as to why. Like that, like shit like that was great. The bad guys. I think everything like was animated well. The production value, everything about it, from the visuals was amazing, and the story was great. But again, that mystery is just too much mystery, and it's just not fun. I just don't find playing the game for hours and still having no idea what the fuck's going on. I don't find that fun. Right. Okay. The mixture of that with you're going to intentionally give me a bad map. Like, this map is wrong and you don't give it to me anyway. See, that's that shit them college professors like to do to motherfuckers with them syllabi. They'll come give you a syllabus knowing that shit ain't got nothing on the goddamn test. See, that's that shit them type of motherfuckers like to do. There's a population of motherfuckers who like to just give wrong information. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole population of these motherfuckers out there, right? That they just, like, they get off on giving bad information. Like, university professors, anybody who makes a legit Metroidvania game, those two people have that in common. They love to give terrible and women. Women, Metroidvania makers, and college professors. What they all have in common is they love to give terrible information and hope you and blame you for not figuring it out. That you know how they got them circles and be like one circle be like teacher, the other one would be Metroidvania director, and then the bottom would be I forgot the third one I had now. But what they would all have in common is giving poor information and blaming teachers and giving bad information and blaming you for not figuring it out. Like it's horrible. I think it's terrible. But yeah. But here's the thing, like I like Control so much that like I keep saying one day I'm gonna go back to it. I keep saying it. Like one day I'm gonna, cause I got it. I think it's in a drawer out there and in the hallway. I keep saying one day I'm gonna go back to it. One day, cause my memory of I have fun times with it, but I just don't want to like just dude. Give me a GPS, dude. Like just give me look. Make a easy mode and put the motherfucker in a baby hat, whatever, and a pacifier. I don't care, bro. I've done enough with my life to where I don't feel bad about playing on easy mode. If you make it that cryptic, all right. I've done enough with my life to be happy with it. I don't got to prove myself through some video game. All right. I'm more into. I want to know what happens to the story, and it looks the game looks great. I mean, like, but yeah. I heard you say one of your degrees are in network engineering is one of my degrees. Yeah. Have you thought about getting back in IT work remote? It does cross my mind. But I hate any type of coding. I try to get back in it because here's the thing: in network engineering, you pretty much have to code the internet to work, kind of thing. And it's been years since I've done it, but I'm sure if I dug deep enough, I can find some of my old notes where I maybe took a picture and emailed it to myself or something. I'm sure I could probably find some, but it's pretty much just coding a router for to make the internet work. And I just don't like coding. Like I try to like it, and even now I try to get back into it. I just lose interest immediately in it. I just don't like it. But in network engineering, yeah, you see, it was essentially like make you have to learn how IP addresses work, the subnet because it's like 255 the 0 to 255 for all of them. Yeah, like if I might have it confused now 'cause it's been years since I've done it. But and along the way in a degree they give you a bunch of little certificates because you're getting certificates all and same thing with biotech or like many degrees will do that like along the way you're getting all so I've got so many certificates I don't even know what the fuck I have anymore. I'd have to call the college to find out what I actually have kind of thing. As far as certificates go. Now what I know I don't have is there's a really good one in network engineering. It's called I think it's what was it I want to say NAACP, but it's not. You know what NAACP is? It was one of those where if you got that certification, like you immediately are gonna make like six figures with it. But you have to go specifically test for it. And I can't remember which one it is now, but I remember that was like always the big talk when we would talk about certificates and degrees. It's like ASCAP or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck it, but I'm pretty sure it had like some A's and C's somewhere in it. I want to say NCAA, NCAA, some shit like that. It was something, but once you got that one, like you were okay. People would come and find you to get you to come work for them, type of shit. You didn't have to go out looking for anybody, looking for work. Once motherfuckers, when you had that certificate, they would come for you. But I can't remember the initials of it now. But no, yeah, network engineer. I just don't like the code. I just really don't like it. And I had, and in that degree, we had to do maybe not a lot in terms of like a compute in terms of computer science. It was nowhere near that level, but it was still enough to where like I just did enough like for that degree and just never went back to it. I just didn't have any interest in it again. Kind of like when I finished biotech, I just don't have the interest in I don't have the interest in chemistry or biology to keep going any further in specifically those fields like that. I just don't have especially and I could probably do like biology or I could probably manage with biology on some level, but I just don't have the patience for that anymore. I just don't. I just and I because if you look at my degrees, like it went pretty much like the opposite way. After that, like after the STEM degrees, it went to like well, all my degrees are in science, but in reality, my degrees went from STEM to like more liberal arts, like easier, relatively speaking, much easier shit. Because it's biotech, network engineering, health and human services, and clinical mental health. right? So like on paper, all my degrees are like are in sciences, but in reality, like let's be real, like the last two are not science. Like I mean, in a STEM sense, the last two are like more like liberal arts level shit. Let's be honest about it. Yes, that's it. Cisco CCNA. That's it. That's exact. How the fuck did you know that, man? That's it. That's it. It was. I'm pretty sure that was it. It was a CCNA. I'm pretty sure that was it. Once you got that one, then like people would come to you. You didn't really have to go. At least at that time, you didn't have to go out and look for a job anymore. But you have to. You can't get that in the degree. You have to actually go and just test for it and pass it. So like you really don't need a degree. You can just go take the test, and, presumably, I would assume, and pass it. Most of college you have to teach yourself. You can use Khan Academy or any other resource to supplement. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, Nick, what's up, Mo? College professors like to give the hardest test but teach horribly. Oh yeah, yeah. And that's another reason why I'm not in any hurry to go back because I always did want to get like a doctorate. But to be fair, I've been looking into doctorates and because my uncle he had a doctorate, and in many doctorates programs like even though it's going to be a lot of work, depending on which one you pick and you get accepted into, you get paid to do it. Like in there's a decent amount of them that exist like that where you don't pay but they pay. Like you're for many doctors, like you're not supposed by the time you're paying for a doctorate, like you're more just paying for social status in many fields. Real doctorates work where either you pay very little or they just pay you a livable wage while you study, right? So I've been thinking about doing it because I always wanted a doctorate. My uncle had a doctorate, one who died, he had a doctorate. And I always just wanted just to say I have one type of thing. Not for any. I don't really don't want to actually use it. I just to say I had, just be like, oh yeah, I did that. You know what I mean, and just move on with life. No, even bring it up in conversation, none of that, right? Just I always just kind of wanted to do it. I'm kind of thinking about looking into it now. Well, I have been looking into it now. Um, I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But I'm studying for a Linux. Nice, go for it, man. But yeah, no. I as far as going, as far as working remote in IT, first I'd had to study back up because I forgot 95% of all that shit. Um, but no, I haven't thought about going back at all. Or I'm sorry, working in that field remotely. Because here's the thing, with me living in Prague, man, like, it wouldn't take long to find a job like that here. I would assume it like in any type of IT field like that. IT fields, especially out here, are like that's what they like want out here in many places, but especially here. Because okay, again, so the other reason why I say in Czech Republic it would be more highly sought after because okay, so the reality of this area is well, because I went over the education system here, and hang on, I went over the education system here, and how the population here will be right as far as education. So Czech Republic is and again, I went over this factual data probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I went over this is factual data. So Czech Republic has the highest high school graduation rates in all the school systems that are like the countries that are in the same school system with the U.S. and Western Europe and Europe on a whole, and I think many countries in South America too. Like they have their own united like way to check facts on rates for school, right? So Czech Republic actually ranks like I think it's like they have a 95 or 94% completion rate for high school graduates, which is like the number one even from North America. Like they're number one in high school graduation, but Czech Republic is among the worst in secondary education, right? And going to university and graduate. Like their population, they just don't go, right? They don't go. They don't attain higher learning, right? Again, they're among. I want to say they're in the bottom four of it, which is a weird, and that's a weird drop off rate. Like you would assume that from a country that would have a low high school graduation rate, but like that's just a severely conflicting statistic, I think. And it becomes clear once you live here for a while. Like once you live here for a while and you see how they move and walk and talk, like it becomes clear like the intellect level definitely caps out right about there kind of thing. I'm not saying to bash them, but it's just my honest opinion. Like you can definitely sense it. Like motherfucker, you could use some higher education type shit, right? But I mean, it is what it is. But inevitably, what that's going to do, since they're not attaining higher education, but yet technology is still progressing. Even it's trickling down out, in Central to Eastern Europe. It's still coming there. Well, their own people, they're not producing enough educated people to take on these technological tasks, right? Outside of bringing you some food, baking some bread, pouring some beer, maybe doing some physical labor, picking up something heavy. They're not producing any higher educated people. So what do they have to do? They're going to have to recruit people from other countries who can produce these people, right? So with me being American, and then I already live here and have a baby, they don't like an employer does not have to worry about me getting a visa, none of that. I'm already relatively speaking. Technically, I'm gonna be in their system, right? So I'm already here. They don't have to worry about me just picking up and leaving in 2 weeks because I didn't adapt to the culture. I'm already here, and I got an American education in an IT in a information technology field. So it's like I would assume. Okay, I've never met somebody who claimed they work in IT not find a job. Let's say that I've never heard of that here. But again, that's the downside of countries that lack education. So that inevitably, so with when countries have a lower education, this is why I say education is everything on a worldwide level. Like education is everything. Um, so when they have to bring in foreigners to work these jobs that they're like I said like Czech men can't work very many jobs in IT, right? Because their culture, they don't go to school. They don't have any formal education. They don't have any solid formal education in it. So they always going to be a little janky at best, right? So to get solid, that solid level of it, they're going to have to hire Germans, French, Africans, whatever. They're going to have to bring in other groups. There's a lot of Africans here that come here and do it, right? They got to bring other groups of people who trained in it. They have to bring those people in, which will inevitably lead to them losing their women, right? Their women, because women are always going to go to the higher earning man, right? So they're going to lose the women. And it's going to be a lot more biracial, multinational people. The Czech men are going to slowly get more angry because they're losing their women, and before you know it, well, Czech Republic is becoming westernized now because of that fact, right? Because of that fact. Oh, I haven't even read this article. I just pulled it up. The U.S. will let you go into the next grade even though you're not ready or failing. Oh, yes, yeah. So in America, yeah, I will say, yeah, that is so. Now, America suffers from another problem, right? The American education system suffers from a different problem than, let's say, like Czech Republic's education system, right? So the American education system suffers from keeping a certain group of people together, which is going to be money, right? And it's all to come down to money in the American system. Whereas other countries, money does play a part, but it's nowhere near as a big as a factor because education is relatively free when you go to other countries, right? And the private school sector is looked down upon in most cases once you leave like the Western countries. Like they look down on it because it's just the perspective of money. Like the richer countries value money, where the poorer countries try to act like money doesn't matter, right? Because they don't have it. So and it's just a brutal reality. So what happens in the American school system is let's say you go to a school, right? Or let's say you build a school. Well, to keep that school up and running, you have to maintain a certain level of graduates, or else you're gonna start either getting fined, or the school's just gonna get shut down, or you're gonna be in trouble, right? If you're not producing a certain level of passing students, right? So that's one incentive for the school to just pass you knowing that you're failing, right? Because that school is going to want to stay open because the workers there need money, right? So they're going to come up with ways to just pass you along so they can keep that succession rate going, right? Because if they start cracking down and too many kids start failing, well, now that school's in trouble, right? Now, the next level with that the next level with it is okay, what schools something hang on, what's that sound? Yes, a desktop. Okay. Yeah, so the next level is which schools are going to actually pretty much guarantee you a spot into a university, right? And typically these are going to be private schools, or if it's a public school, it's going to be a public school in a rich neighborhood, which is essentially just an indirect private school, right? So in America, we pay to get among the higher class of people, right, in one way or another, and everybody else just is discarded, right? So when you pay for these schools, well, the kid might still fail, but in the reality of it is everybody just wants money. So they're going to take your money, and if they know you, they don't care if your kid's passing or failing or not. They're just going to take your kid because they went to XYZ school, right? And then and since they took that kid in, that kid is going to get in with those other kids, and now they're in that clique, and they're going to get into XYZ university, right? Whereas all the lower kids, they got to hope and pray they can get into Yale or Harvard or whatever. They got to pray for that shit, right? If you're not in with that, like what's the bitch who did Full House? Lori Loughlin, she got caught doing that, paying. Hang on, Lori Loughlin. She got caught doing that shit. Yeah, here it is. She paid $500,000 college tuition for two students, but no, she got caught paying. She got caught bribing. Huh? Maybe it's bribe. She got caught doing that. But yeah, once you get in those, so the school system is America is not is just strictly a business, right? Yeah, her name on Full House was Aunt Becky. But yeah, like what she did, she went to jail too for that shit. But what she did, like she didn't do anything that doesn't happen. Okay, here's the thing with Aunt Becky from Full House, right? What she did was nothing out of the norm. That's just the norm, right? So for people who know how to read between the lines, let's see if I can bring up. Yeah, for people who know how to read between the lines, this was 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago. For people who know how to read between the lines of the hierarchy of North American education, right? She did nothing out of the norm. Just like how I say, like with information leaking and all this shit, like Hillary Clinton's emails got out and she was breaking rules and all that. Look, everybody in the government, motherfuckers who work in government commit 18 felonies a day. All right, in that world, that's normal, dude. In that world, that's normal. Anybody who works a decent job in the military, them motherfuckers are breaking. I would say at minimum 4 felonies a day. They're committing 4 felonies a day, every day. I would guarantee it. If you were to average it out, right? You got some janitors, some shit like we even janitors. They probably been there reading shit they shouldn't be reading in the trash and all that shit like that. It's all the time, dude. So with Lori Law, what she did with this, she didn't get in trouble for this. She fucked around and did something she really shouldn't have done, right? Like she fucked around and cheated on her husband with like a black dude or some shit like that, and the right motherfucker found out and said, okay, look, you got to pay me $30 million, or I'm gonna tell the press that you technically broke a law. It was some shit like that, right? I'm using race as an example, but I mean, you get what I'm trying to say. Like she did something that went horrifically against her culture, and she like with Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump, look, anything Donald Trump is doing that's illegal, Man, everybody in that world's doing that shit every fucking day, dude. He just fucked around. The motherfuckers are trying to take when by the time they trying to take these motherfuckers out, it's because they did something else. And they just finally got one thing that they could stick on them. Right? It doesn't it in that educated in that educated let's be real. In America, in that educated white world, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like you actually get in trouble for the exact thing that you did. It don't work like that. They don't move like that, right? Now in black communities, yeah, it's like yeah, you know what you did, you did it. You know what you did, you did it. You know what I mean? But in white communities, they don't move. It don't work like that, right? She got caught doing something she really shouldn't have done, right? And they just focused on the fact that they can use that whole payment for school as a way to take her down, right? But you know, the U.S. school system. Back to the original topic, the U.S. school system is definitely more money oriented. Now, and I think I was having a conversation a few days ago about this. The difference between the U.S. and Europe, I think that's another big see. That's another major difference is that the U.S. between I would say like let's say use the U.S. and Europe for example. I just came to this conclusion. In the U.S., we separate more based off of our short history in class, right? Or if we came up, like Lori Loughlin came up. She wasn't some royalty woman or nothing like that, but she came up. And America is a young country, right? It's a very young country. Whereas Europe, their shit dates back to fucking, I mean, the fucking the year -8, right? So like, so they held on to that whole like, you know, I'm just a higher class than you, and that's it, right? Like they just held on. Whereas America, like you can, as a poor white in America, like you can come up and and get some respect in a Yale or Harvard and shit like that. Even though they still have their own circles too. But in America, whereas out here in Europe, like you can't really do that. They ain't on that much out here. Like this that whole thing, like you know what you are for real type shit. Like they don't come out and say it, but it is definitely a thing. It's there for sure. What's up, Jackson Pierce? Someone probably needed to get blamed, and she was convenient. I would guarantee out of everybody Lori Loughlin would hang out with, all they friends was doing that. All of them was doing it, and they all got a little dirt on each other, right? They went out to the club and sucked some young attorney's dick, and didn't want to tell the other one's husband, and you know all types of shit, dude. That was just the one thing they can get her on, like with Trump now. Because I read somewhere they trying to take all Donald Trump money and all that shit like that. Like, yeah, I read somewhere they was trying to take all Donald Trump's money and to the point where he can't own anything in New York City again or some shit like that. I don't know. I just skimmed through the article, but you already know what that is, man. I already know what that is, so I just don't even pay any attention. Uh, I just immediately went to another article, but cause yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up, Thomas? Appreciate the gaming. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. I wonder why she got called out when everyone does it. Yeah, yeah, Mo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. She did. It was a lot more of that story than she just bribed a motherfucker, right? See, black motherfuckers get in trouble because they just sold some drugs. White people don't get in trouble because they just sold some drugs, right? There was more to it. But it's fucked up to say. See, a Filipino would get in trouble because they just tried to pay their way out of a cop, right? They would get in trouble just for that, right? Like that see her population, a bitch like that, she don't get in trouble because she just did one thing. That it don't work. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, that woman who was a YouTuber or something like that, and they call and she's doing prison time because they said that her kids was locked up or something like that. No, that bitch was running a Holocaust in there. Now all they told us was that her kids was hungry. That bitch was running a Holocaust in that motherfucker. There's always a lot more to it. But yeah, let me see. Most rich people do it, but she got caught and took the fall. Oh yeah, yeah. So let's see, look at this article. What's this? Death of the chill girl myth. Why women no longer hide being batshit. Oh, because they don't have to. Or I'm already telling you that. Because they don't have to. Because the internet, and online dating has informed women that they can that no matter what they do, because they're women, they'll still be desired. Right? They don't have to. In America, especially in the West, they don't have to. Especially if she knows she's skinny and figure out how to put on figure out how to get her eyebrows plucked and take a bath. She don't have look. She doesn't have to have to pretend to be decent. Yeah. Women don't have to hide being batshit. They don't have to. They've learned through the internet. They learned to see. If you ever watched them police recordings watch them police recordings when they arrest women. And I'm bringing it back to race, but watch those police videos, especially in America, when they arrest a white woman, right? Oh, they'll flat out say, "You're gonna arrest me?" Well, you know I'm a white woman, so yeah. Like they'll just flat out say the shit. They don't care. Yeah. And that comes from internet. That comes from internet, online dating. They've learned that they don't have to be decent. As long as she's a woman, somebody's always going to be waiting to give her something. Oh, she knows it, right? That's exactly why. They probably wrote a whole article. Brooke, oh yeah, she didn't try to write some. Yeah, that's all it is. You ain't need to write all this. This could have been summed up in about 3 sentences. The internet, we could sum it up as the internet has informed women that men will want a woman simply because she's a woman. And when one man doesn't want her, there'll be 30 more of them lined up. And that's all you need. Article done. This bitch done put in TikTok links and Instagram. You ain't need to do all that. That's about that. That's one paragraph. Let me turn this computer off. It's making this noise. Oh, I should have. I don't know what's going on with that. Why is making that noise? Trying to quit. Oh, do I have to? Oh, it's not gonna let me do that. Oh, this goofy shit where you gotta hold it. Okay, I'm just gonna shut this down. All right. Was this Ellie Rallo has never been a so-called chill girl. I'm literally batshit. The 23-year-old New Yorker told the Post. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you 23. Same thing that was a Young Jeezy ex-wife. Yeah, like she's wondering why she got problems now. And well, I used to be bitchy and it was never a problem. Yeah, because bitch, you was 23. That's why. Everybody went, oh, she's bitchy, but I can probably fuck her if I just last it out. You know what I mean? Like what the dude homie who was on who was holding Brittany Renner, was her name Brittany Renner? Is her name Brittany Renner? Brittany Renner's hand after she was acting bad, after she was like yelling at motherfuckers on the set and all that, and he gonna sit over there and hold that bitch hand. Let it like no, like that woman is not allowed touching. That woman should not even be allowed to touch you after acting like that. And that's one thing I really liked Adam Levine for. Well, I always was a fan of Maroon 5 back when Songs About Jane came out. I still think that's a great. It's definitely aged, but I still think it's probably their best album in my opinion. Songs About Jane. But that video clip came out of a woman. She jumped on stage and tried to grab him, and he just like went like ugh, and walked off. That's how he should have done it. Now Adam Levine got it. Don't fucking touch me, bitch. You have no why? Why? You know what I mean? Why? But yeah, that motherfucker with the Brittany Renner, he's sitting there holding that bitch hand. Like, because, and like I said in that live stream, right? Like I said in that live stream, motherfuckers will put up with these tramps because they'll go, oh, there's it. Well, if I just wait for there's a 2% chance I might get her to say she likes me or smile at me, and they'll put up with it, right? It's fucking gross, man. Rallo declared the once trendy chill girl persona, a girl who's just one of the boys and doesn't dare vocalize her feelings, officially over a now viral TikTok clip, which has amassed over 376,000 likes. It was too cool. It was cool to be that girl, minimalist with a polished and pretty clean girl aesthetic, said Aralo, who believes guys seek out chill girls. Yeah, most men do want a chill girl. Nobody. Jesus Christ. And it feels like squeezing yourself into a pair of pants that don't fit. Yeah, for a woman, yeah. Being a decent human feels like that for a woman. Yes, I agree. It feels like squeezing yourself into a pair of pants that don't fit. Yeah. For a woman, yeah. Being just, oh, wait, my light went off. Okay, well, fuck it. I'll just keep going. So I turned off the yeah, fuck it. I'll just keep going like this. But yeah, to be a decent woman, yeah, it's oppressive to just try to be a decent human and just exist. Yeah, it's never been. She says she continues. That's never been who I am. Yeah, we know. Well, those of us who know who've seen women behind the scenes know. A lot of men's never seen women behind the scenes. See, a lot of men they've never heard how women talk about men, right? They've never really hung out. They never really they never hung out with the hookers and whores, right? Because see, a lot of men they've believed that lie that there's something different between that woman and that woman, right? A lot of men are they believe that lie, that there's something different from Meghan Markle and Megan down at Show Park. See, a lot of men think that there's a major difference in that. It's not a major difference. It's not a major difference at all. I say all the time. I say all the time. There's no difference between Meghan Markle and Megan on Fifth and Broadway sucking cock for $20. When it comes down to it, when shit gets real, there's no difference. They both of them are gonna suck dick for survival. There's no difference between Meghan Markle and Megan at Show Park, right? Now, I'm not saying you should be mean to them. I'm not saying that there's not some who can be a little funny here or there or just have a pleasant attitude. No, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to like, pushing the other way of trying to infer that, all women are complete and total cunts 24/7. I'm not trying to infer that, but the reality on, okay, just like if you go out if you go out in the woods and come across 5,000 lions, right? Like, 1,000 of them may be great to just keep as a house pet, right? You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, let's say if you got 5,000 lions, right? 4,000 of them could be the most vicious lions you ever come across in your life, but 1,000 of them could be, you can bring them home and let them play with your little pet gerbil and all that shit, right? And they be buddies. You be seeing these little clips of these YouTubers with ding 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 ding, and they playing and sleeping together with the little lion and the hamster and all that shit, right? Yeah, but when shit gets real, and that lion's stomach start growling a little too hard, that's a lion, bruh. And that lion is no different from that lion down there in that zoo than that lion sleeping next to Alejandra. All right? When that belly starts growling, that lion's going to come out. It's a lion, just like a woman, right? See, that pleasant housewife or that whore on Fifth and Broadway. Well, ain't no whores on Fifth and Broadway. That's a little too... Well, Not in the sense I'm talking about, but there's whores everywhere. But you see what I'm trying to say. See, Meghan Markle or Megan down the street. See, when shit gets real, she gonna suck dick to survive. She gonna suck dick to survive and get social status, and she's gonna dress up in any way she can to raise her chances of it. That's a lion, dude. It's a lion, right? Now you might have little small things that are different. Like some women just cannot fuck for direct money, but in the end, all women are fucking for money. All right, never forget that. All women are fucking for money, right? See, there's a reason why British women don't go to Romania looking for their dream man, right? But there's a reason why Romanian women will go to Britain looking for their dream man. Women don't go down, they only try to go up. She's fucking for money, right? What's up, Petwa boy? Hope I said that right. Just more polished, yeah. But yeah. Oh, in America, she look, she's just skinny, looks like she can figure out how to take a bath and put on some lipstick and brush her hair. And she can look with her being like that, she's gonna have the reassurance by Tinder, Bumble, going to a club and having some guy look at her or anything that she can do whatever she wants. And she can get away with it at 23. Rallo insists she's never been a chill girl and used to check guys' Snapchat scores. What's a Snapchat score? Let me Google. I don't know what this is. I ain't even know because I don't use Snapchat at all. A number that represents the amount of activity you have on Snapchat. Every time you send or receive a snap, your snap score increases by 1 point. Okay, so maybe I'm a boomer because I didn't even know what that was. I don't use Snapchat. So I guess if you keep sending shit and receiving some shit, it keeps tally of it to, I guess, rate your popularity. Whatever. Damn. Y'all see that? Can you see that? Al Pacino, 83, settles custody battle with girlfriend who's 29. Look, man. Now, I feel like I need to have a talk with Al on this. I loved you in Scarface, by the way. But look, custody, but look. Agree to pay the attorney's fee. Oh my God. Let that bitch go. Just let her go. Like that song, Passenger. See, motherfuckers heard that the wrong way. He say, let her go. Al, just let her do whatever she wants. Bye. Okay, see you. Now you might be hurt, right? But she's not gonna look, man, all that fight. No, let that bitch go. I'm on the side read about Al Pacino. Man, look, don't be followed. No. Okay, bye. Or kick her out. Do something. God. Some guys just don't learn that dynamic, right? Some guys just don't learn the dynamic of it. You can let a woman go. Did you know? I just make sure everybody's watching. You can tell a woman no, or you can just ignore it. It's a thing. You can. It's not illegal. You can do that. Well, not yet. It's illegal in America. It might be illegal soon in North America. But as of now, it's not illegal. You can let her go. You can just forget she exists. You can go take up another hobby and forget about her life entirely. That's a thing. It's not illegal to do that. Not fighting anything. Just get the fuck out and leave. Why do you fight over? Leave. So I guess this must be the video of the 23-year-old girl. Oh no. Is it? Well, I'm not gonna play that. I can't read it. A chill girl vibe is cool. I'm actually insane. Yes. I don't care. You know, I literally, I can't even read it. Everything I do is a production. Well, that's true. Yeah, the last statement in that is completely true. Everything I do is a production. Yeah, from when you wake up in the morning and you have to cover your face in 10 pounds of makeup to figuring out how to hide literally every aspect of who you really are to appear desirable. Yes, everything as a woman, everything you do is a production. Yes, because you're a severely unlikable creature who's hiding behind who's hiding behind the costume of woman, right? That's just what it is. Everything a woman is, everything about a woman. If a woman had to seriously go out there and try to be likable, right? Without having the asset of just being a woman who can be fucked. Like she would be used completely. The only thing that keeps women in survival is the fact that men want to fuck them. That's literally the only thing. Yeah, like that is the only thing that keeps women surviving is that men end up wanting to fuck them. If it wasn't for that, what would they really do? We would just kill them. We would either we okay. If it wasn't for sex and men and women had let's say in some kind of weird way like men and women didn't like recreate didn't recreate didn't want to fuck each other, right, for one reason or another, right, and they just existed, right, we would either just enslave women, men would just rather we would just completely enslave them or kill them or eat them, right. They would essentially be orangutans to us, right? We just put them in a zoo and motherfuckers come look at them and some shit like that. You know what I mean? And that'd be it. Because they couldn't fight back. You know, mean if you put 50 women in a room full of 20 slightly angered men, the men would fucking annihilate them bitches. You know what I mean? And here's okay. I'll take it even a step further. Let's say you put 15 slightly angered men who were convinced they can just like like throw like real punches type of shit. Not like they was angered, but they still struggling with social norms and not hitting women and shit like that. But let's say you put like 15 men who were like fully convinced like it was okay, you mean, to like just punch a woman like as he would comfortably punch a man if he were like upset, right? You put 15 men against 60 women who were like infuriated, right? Like full on, just like fully angry, right? And I even take it another step further. Let's say each man was only allowed to throw 5 punches, right? And yo, like the women they be killed, like they would just either 5 of them women. Okay, half of them women would see the first 3 punches be thrown in total and be like, okay, I'd rather suck some dick to get out this problem. I'm not fighting them motherfuckers, right? Can I just be nice? I mean, and they wouldn't have to be some Mike Tyson motherfuckers either. They be, they just be like a regular, I would say, they just be like a Chris Rock type of dude. Because Kevin Hart's actually in pretty good physical shape, what I've seen. So I wouldn't use Kevin Hart. I say like let's use a dude like like Chris Rock. A dude who's not even his primary focus is not physical ability. He's just a man and knows how to tighten his muscles up right. Some shit like that. If you put 15 Chris Rocks in a room with I would okay, since Lizzo's fat, her weight would do a lot of her work. So I'm going to lower the number. I say 15 slightly angered Chris Rocks who knew they could just like let her rip on their punches versus fully infuriated. I would say, because Lizzo's weight would do a lot for her. So I would say 15 versus 30 Lizzos, right? And Chris Rock can only throw a total of, each Chris Rock can only throw a total of 5 punches. Them bitches be dead. right? Because all it takes for most women, even when most women get angry, all it takes is one or two good solid man punches, and then they just give up. They can't because it's like when they feel that man strumph, that that man from Men on Film, that strumph, when they feel that reinforced, I mean that proper fucking form where like all this gets involved in the punch, it's not just, but it's like that I mean, the aerodynamics hit just right. I mean, and the velocity to force ratio went right. When you hit a woman like all it takes is one or two good ones. The reason I know this because when you is if you ever go to the hood, you see men fighting women sometimes, and it don't go too well for the woman unless the guy just lets her get away with it, type of shit, right? But when if the guy fights the woman, go to some hood, you'll see it. Because my brother, he used to do that shit. And I had an uncle who used to beat up women and take their purses. But he used to beat up everybody. It wasn't just women. Yeah, my brother. It wasn't just women. Don't get me wrong. They weren't just bullying bitches. Like, it was just anybody who. but, you know what I mean? But when women, when they feel that force of a man, most women will tap out after three. After three. And here's the thing: it wouldn't even have to be like in the jaw. It could be like on their forearm or some shit like that. A man punch and he fuck around and miss and hits her like right here, right? And she feels it, and you can see. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you can see in her face. She goes from pure anger to not like a full but it's like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? But it's not like it's like she'll get hit whap on her arm, right? And it's that man force, and her eyes just have to like think, what did I just get myself into? Type shit, right? And some of them will try to keep fighting, but most of them they can only take about two to three, and then they just even after that, from my experience of watching it happen, the few who would can try to continue fighting, like you can tell by the way they were throwing their punches, like they knew they weren't going to win, but they just didn't want to look like they gave up, type of shit. But I mean, it was I mean, we've all been there at some point in a fight. I'm not trying to single out women, but we've all been there at some point throughout a fight in our lives. But when you put like women against men, like it's like they just can't keep up. It's just not it's just not in them, like, at all. Yeah, you could use Lizzo as a cannonball. Yeah, yeah. Like Lizzo's weight would do a lot of work. If you put Lizzo up against Chris Rock, like her weight would do a lot of work. Like it wouldn't really be her fight. It would just be her size. All she had to do was just fall on you, type of shit. If she could just run, if she just like ran and just like would fall on you, like that would be her, her fighting tactic. Or whatever like pathetic punch like she could throw, it would just be the weight behind the punch that would do all the work. It wouldn't, it's not her muscles. You know what I mean? It's not her technique. It would literally be just the weight, attached to the fist that would do all the, would do the harm kind of. And even then she'd fuck around and fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because, but if you put like 15 Chris Rocks and I say 25 to 30 Lizzos, oh, them bitches be dead. Well, here's the thing. Lizzo could probably win for real, right? But like I said, what's gonna stop the Lizzos from winning is they gonna see other women get hit, and some of them gonna take some hard hits, and the other women gonna like sheep or cow, like sheep, they gonna go, bah, not me. I'm not doing that. I gotta look cute, and then it's over. That's gonna be it. But yeah, that was a long side rant. But yeah, let me see if I can read. Just started cracking up. Yeah, Young Jeezy's ex-wife was the exact same, in a slightly different way, but the same end goal. She thought she thought she could get away with everything because she was young. She was just a young woman to be fucked. Like I said, there's no difference between her and Young Jeezy's wife to Melania Trump to Brittany Renner. There's no difference. It doesn't. There's no core difference. But Melania Trump, Brittany Renner, this hussy, all of them are hussies, right? They just. It just depends on if the man decides to take her on or not. But they're all hussies, dude. Like That's her role in all this shit, right? Like, for a TikToker and college student, I don't know how to say that, Malavika Bot 21, ditching the chill girl expectation was freeing, and after her TikTok calling for the death of the chill girl went viral, she discovered that more women want to be free too. Okay, Jesus. I don't care if you guys are hooking up and you know what to. Wait, I don't care if you guys are hooking up and you want to know if he's seeing other people. You can ask him that. She says in a clip that now has over 103,000 likes. You don't have to worry about being chill. Well, like Chad Johnson says, or Chad Ochocinco, he said, look, the man is the one, he's the one bringing everything to the table that's of value. You not. So why should he have to put on a show for you? Okay, because as a woman, yeah, you might be pretty now. What's her name? Malvika. You might be pretty now, but like your value is just gonna go down no matter what you do. You're in no position of negotiation, right? Well, now because you're young and you can sell that, but as the years go on, you know. Let's play this.
Death of the chill girl. I want none of that shit anymore. None of it. I don't care if you guys are hooking up and you want to know if he's seeing other people. You can ask him that. You can ask, hey, are you seeing other people? You don't have to worry about being chill. You can just ask him that. What has this come to? You can just ask people things, especially if you're sleeping with them. In fact, you should be.
So, yeah. Let's play it one more time.
Death of the chill girl. Death of the chill girl. I want none of that shit anymore. None of it. I don't care if you guys are hooking up and you want to know if he's seeing other people. You can ask him that. You can ask, hey, are you seeing other people? You don't have to worry about being chill. You can just ask him that. What has this come to? You can just ask people things, especially if you're sleeping with them. In fact, you should be.
So, yeah. So the reality with that is, okay, both sides are just gonna lie, right? They just gonna lie. Like a car salesman selling a car salesman selling a car that he knows fucked up, right? No car salesman is gonna come to you knowing you want to buy a car and be like, yeah, you know what? The doors don't be locking for real. Sometimes the lights stay on, so the battery will die. It don't start every seventh time you try to start it. No car salesman is gonna tell you that because he's trying to sell that car, right? And women, they're always late to everything, right? And the only reason why they end up getting ahead for a little while is because, men are always going to be desperate for pussy somewhere, so they'll listen to them. Like the song was, like what Akon said, Pippin got harder because hoes got smarter. Yeah, hoes, they grow up and get a little smarter, and then men adapt and stomp them back down to their rightful place. And then over time, women, they'll start learning, they'll try to pick up on things. Like Patrice O'Neal said, like his girl, like when they started, like he used to just like, flip his girl on her back, and then over the years, like she started learning his game, so now he had to like adapt it, to smack her back down type shit. That's how you have that's the role of woman, right? She's gonna be late to shit. So she's thinking that you can ask men shit, right? Now here's the thing: the whole thing of the woman asking the man if he's talking to anybody else and all that shit like that. That's woman's response to men asking women how many guys that she had sex with. That's all that is. That's all it is, right? Or just like women calling each other bro and all that shit like that. It's just mimicking men, dude. That's all it is. And then every over time, they'll come up and start learning some shit, and guys won't be ready for it. Like the internet was a big thing for women. That the internet was a big thing for women to learn what they could really get away with. Like they always could get away with shit, but the internet really exposed a lot of what women can get away with. So now men are going through pretty much, okay, I would say this. Men around the world are going through the most difficult time with women that the world has ever seen. That the entire world has ever seen. This day and age with the internet, men have the biggest mountain to climb in adapting back to women. To stomp woman back down to where she belongs, which is beneath men. And okay, now it's gonna be misogynistic because it is, because I am a misogynist, right? Because it's just the reality. All right. So let me dive into that briefly. Woman historically has has never on any collective time period hand ever wanted to be number one, or they ever truly craved to truly be number one and sit in number one for their culture's existence, for their life existence. They don't want, if a woman ever became the queen, right? If a woman ever sat down somewhere, and especially at a younger age, right? If she ever went out somewhere and became, historically speaking, 99% of times she was not satisfied until she found a man of a king somewhere else to marry, right? See, that queen never went off and married the accountant in fucking Valatajo village or some shit like that. She wanted a king to marry, right? Now a prince or a king, he would go marry that little cute little bitch at the bakery, right? And life would be great. But see, woman, she always has to go up, right? Woman is not comfortable or happy until she finds a man to put her down, right? She needs a man to direct her, to tell her what to do. She's not happy. So yes, I think misogyny is the proper order of human of human development. Because without misogyny, you have chaos, right? Without misogyny, like it's inevitable. It's inevitable, right? Meghan Markle. Let's say if had Meghan Markle had been a princess, right? You think Meghan Markle would go off and marry a struggling actor on top of that, because she wasn't a successful actress. She wasn't like a super successful. She wasn't like a Jennifer Aniston or some shit like that, right? I mean, Jennifer Aniston really wasn't a successful actress. She just got lucky with friends. I'm trying to think of a legit, like I say, like a Penelope Cruz or some shit, like the movie star, like them Angelina Jolie type of shit, right? Like one of them legit movie star actresses. Like Meghan Markle got lucky with like I think like 2 or 3 shows and she was fuckable. So like that's what really got her. She wasn't even like a super duper great actress, right? But but so again, let's flip that. Let's say Meghan Markle was the princess, right? Do you think she would have went off and fucking went against her family and her social statuses, opinions, and would have dated fucking trying to think of a dude, John Stamos? She would have went off. She was think John Stamos is hot or whatever the fuck, but she ain't getting ready to marry that shit. No. You think she ready to go off and marry who's another one? John Stamos. Who's another? All right, like he was an actor, but I mean he wasn't like he wasn't putting out hit after hit. He was just an actor who was just kind of there type shit. Ethan Hawke. You mean Meghan Markle ain't going off to marry no damn Ethan Hawke? Get the fuck out of here. No, Ethan Hawke is garbage to her at that point, right? But see, that prince, see, he could go down and marry some old scruff duff bitch, you know what I mean? Who just could just put on a tight dress and, have a little twinkle in her eye, some shit like that. He can do that, and it works out well. But if you had flipped them roles, fuck no. She wants to be put, woman wants to be put down, right? Meghan Markle could have went off and married some dude working at Costco or some shit like that, right? There was nothing stopping Meghan Markle from going off and marrying some. Okay, if you put in a relation the amount of money and the amount of social status that is it Prince Harry, whatever the fuck, if you were to take that the relation of where they are with money, right, and flip that shit would be disgusting. You already know something's wrong with that. That wouldn't work. Maybe there was nothing stopping Meghan Markle from going to go date a director, and I think somebody else stated how Angelina Jolie, her dating track record is a perfect example. Like Angelina Jolie's dating record is an absolute perfect example. The partners that she got with was as she fucked her way to the top, as she acted and fucked her way higher. She didn't fuck with lower dudes anymore. She was only fucking with movie stars and them motherfuckers. She didn't go back down that ladder anymore, right? Let me catch one of these comments. most actresses aren't great at acting, but they are phenomenal on the casting couch. Oh yeah, man, yeah. Even with acting, there's very few genuinely good female act. There are some really good ones though. And the sad part of it is a lot of the really good ones don't get any attention. That's just like if you watch, in my opinion, like when I watch a lot of if I watch, especially a lot of foreign media, doesn't matter what country you watch, is you can go on these like little websites and watch movies from all over the world, dude. Like movies you never heard of, and it will be some great female actresses, but the great ones never get where they should. You'd say you get these Brie Larsons, you know what I mean, playing Captain Marvel. It was just abysmal. So you get that shit right. Like I thought Numi Rapace was one of the better ones. I like Keira Knightley. I think she's a good one. The girl who played Lena Headey. I like Lena Headey, the one who played in. I liked her performance in Dread. I thought she did a great job in that. She was like a believable ex hooker. Like I can believe that shit. Like she probably did rip a dude's nuts off. Like I can see that, but she could have been possibly a hooker before. Like she has that like that dynamic. But most of the popular female actresses they're just garbage, man. Like they're just pretty and people know them type shit, but they're just awful. Like I just can't watch a lot of mainstream movies because they're so bad. I could deal with a Haley Atwell because I've been wanting to watch the new Mission Impossible, and I really liked Haley Atwell in Agent Carter, the first season of Agent Carter. I thought Agent Carter at the time maybe I was. I'll say this: when Agent Carter first came out, I loved Agent Carter. I thought she did an excellent job in her role. I thought she did a great job in her role and her position and all that. I think she was. I didn't care for season two. I quit watching season two maybe like two episodes in. I thought it was horrible, but the first season was great. It was just a something different. We didn't rely completely on CGI shit. I thought it was excellent, at least for the time. Maybe I was just high off Marvel, I'm a fan of Haley Atwell, so I want to watch the new Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. Um, Anna de Armas, she's another good. I think she's really good. I really like her acting. But again, like she's Anna de Armas is another one. She like she's popular, but she's also like kind of forgotten. Like she's pushed down kind of thing. But I think Anna de Armas does a great job. I thought she was pretty much the best. I would okay now. This is gonna be controversial, but I would love to see Anna de Armas become the new Bond, like that, because people are like they're trying to do the new James Bond black or make it a woman. I wouldn't be mad to watch after watch her action scene in the what was the name of that last one? I keep wanting to say Tomorrow Never Dies, but that's some old one. I can't think of the last double. I'm not gonna spoil the ending because it was a great ending, by the way. But the one, well, it was the only 007 Anna de Armas was in. If you watch her fight scene and how she was acting, like, dude, she was the best part of the whole goddamn movie. Like, I would love to see her. If they said she was gonna be the new Bond, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch that. I pay to watch that. I have faith that she would execute it. I have faith in her. She had them action scenes down. Her acting was spectacular for her position. It was genuinely. I thought it was genuinely great acting for her position and role. I thought it was a little awkward that she was like sitting in now, you know what I mean, in that exotic dress in that like random bar on the street. I thought that was a severe mismatch kind of thing, but they had to go to the party, so I get that. But if you watch her action scene in that 007 movie and how she was at, I thought she was just flawless. If they said they were going to turn her into the new James Bond, like, sign me up. I'm there. The black girl didn't do too bad. Like most of the female actresses in that movie were pretty good. I'll give the James Bond series that. The James Bond series do tend to hire actually decent acting women who act, but they're like not very well known in the world, kind of thing. So I'll give the James Bond series that credit. One, I love the James Bond series. I love their camera quality and camera work in James Bond movies. Even Quantum of Solace, which a lot of people didn't like that open and drive scene, but I loved it. But they do tend to hire good actresses, great actresses, but they're never known before it or after it. Like the girl who played Pennyworth, Penny Snatch, whatever, the black girl. Penny Snatch, some shit. Because the one where she's like where they on a train and she's like she's got to shoot the bad guy, right? And the woman I love, the mom, the woman, the British one, I love that actress. I can't think of her name right now. And she's like, take the shot, and she doesn't want to take it because she might hit James Bond, and she shoots whoever. I can't remember what her name was in real life, but I thought she did an excellent job in the movie too. Like they hire great women actresses in that movie, which is a rarity because most don't. Anna de Armas is not that pretty. Or the only female actors I ever liked were in porn. 80 feels totally opposite about Tina. Oh yeah, I love Tina Fey. Yeah, I love her. Eva Green. Oh yeah, I remember. I think I know who did. I think she did Sim City, was it? Maybe. But yeah. Yeah, I love Tina Fey for my imagination of what she is. But I mean yeah, I don't know her personally on any type of level, so it's probably not a lot to talk about. But I love my imagination of her. But let's continue with this article. Back to Bahatvi. What's her name? Mak. How the fuck do you pronounce this shit? Malvika Bhat. Let's continue with this. It's 9 o'clock. The societal need for the chill girl persona still stems from negative depictions of women being annoying, overly emotional, and controlling. Well, that's what women are. Explains sociologist Jennifer Gonzalez, PhD. So wait, that doesn't make sense. That's not a PhD. Or she could be a sociologist with a PhD. Okay, or maybe I'm just tripping. Okay, but now she's seeing a fucking attitude amongst younger women. Well, yeah, that's the internet. That fucking attitude is the internet. Women have learned that they don't have to be. Look, she could look. This girl can post this picture right here and have men lined up to take her out on a date. This snapshot of woman is enough, right? That's where that fucking attitude is coming. The internet. See, before the internet, she couldn't do this. Makvi, whatever her name is, bot. She couldn't do this pre-smartphone times, right? See that whole development of the fuck it attitude. That's because she can do this. She can take a picture on a, relatively speaking, a cheap form of technology and post it on the internet for the world to see for free, right? So she doesn't see the days of women trying to pretend to be decent and all that. That's dying off. It's dying off because they don't have to be. Right? The rise in a fucking attitude is because she's learned, look, I can make an OnlyFans and I don't even have to like talk to a motherfucker and they'll pay me money just to see my body bend in a certain way. Yes. Men like to look at men love to look at different women because their leg is just slightly curved in another direction. You know what I mean? Like it has a slightly different curve in another woman's leg. Like, and a man will fucking spend the copious amounts of money just because your eyes are just a slightly little more shaped differently than another woman's eyes, right? That's it. That's what's going. Yeah. And once a woman found that out, that's going to be the rise of the fuck of that. Like, fuck it. Why care? Why care? So this continues. I've seen this bigger picture of women who are rebelling from the BS feminine training we receive, what it is to be a good woman or a good girlfriend, how you're supposed to be sexy or pretty, she said. Yeah. Yeah. All this is due to the internet taking off. Yeah. But the thing is, since women have women only see 5 minutes in front of their face. They can't see further than Many, if not all, women cannot see further than 5 minutes in front of their face. That's why they need men to survive, because they just can't do it. They can't do it. They when it comes to survival, women, their survival is depending on man. Right? That is their survival technique. Is hoping man does something. Right? Now, with that being said, women who are rebelling against the feminine training, what's going okay, this is another theory I have, is what could possibly end up happening. Over the years, what's going to happen is, see, these younger girls, especially in America, in countries like America, like the West, the westernized countries that are like just, drinking a Kool-Aid on feminism and shit like that. What's going to happen is the younger girls are going to get so fucking wild that men are just going to come. Okay, if a guy's not rich, he's just going to completely give up. If he's not rich, or for some reason he's just kind of like stumbling into pussy kind of thing like that. Like, if he's not one of those kind of guys, which most men aren't, younger guys are just going to completely give up. And I think what's going to end up happening is they're just going to start dating older women. And of course, which is going to lead to population declines, right? Because why? Women are in control, which leads to disaster every time. But in my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. That's one possibility. The younger girls, they're just going to get too wild, too ridiculous. Guys are just going to, because men will sit down and talk, and like these channels, we'll sit down and talk or listen, or become enlightened or become reassured or disagree with another man's perspectives, right? We do is where women, okay, we have these perspectives on the world, right? Where women sit down and just try to climb social statuses when they talk. So nothing's actually being accomplished except trying to find out which man she should fuck for her own survival, right? So what's going to happen, since women don't historically, they don't talk, they don't warn their younger generations of what's going to happen in a dating world anymore. Women are inherently programmed to self-destruct. Right? What's going to end up happening is, see, those older women, the only reason older women in general don't give other women good advice. Usually because they're jealous of them, envious of them, or they're just flat out retarded. Pick one. So what's going to end up happening is the older women always know, okay, they figured out that they're not as pretty as they used to be, right? So they cannot compete with the younger woman. So what's going to end up happening is the older women are going to have some awareness. Okay, men like femininity. They like, so the older women will, in my opinion, they're going to start becoming more feminine in order to try to get some type of man. Whereas the younger girls are just going to get too wild, right? They're going to get too wild until they can't be wild. And you're going to see, I think you're going to see a harsher drop off of as they age, like right when they start hitting 30, 35, 40. It's going to be a harsher attempt to flip it, right? Passport bros just do the same BS overseas. Passport bros just do the same BS. So yeah, so what I feel, and I'll tell you what, Pierce Jackson, who I feel sorry for is, like, so when a dude is like a passport dude, right? I guess technically I'm a passport dude, which it wasn't like intentional, but it turned into that. Um, the part about being a passport bro is that when you go to another country and do that, well, like, the game is always the same. So like, it's men in that country who are losing their women to a foreign guy, right? So it's like those poorer guys in these countries that like guys are going to, whatever, like, you're just taking a girl from them, right? So it's always gonna, like, some guy is always gonna lose out on that, especially in the passport bro scenario. And those women there are just doing the same thing that Lori Loughlin did in where's she at? Oh, I lost her now, but okay. See, like this woman. Okay, look. So a big thing that comes up is women trying to bash guys who go to other countries and meet women, right? And the only argument that's valid in that. Okay, the only argument that women are intelligent enough to acknowledge is the fact that men left the country to go find, relatively speaking, a poorer woman, right? Which it would be a good argument, if you had the intelligence of a woman, but if you have actual intelligence and critical thinking, you would see that, okay, look, every woman in every country is doing the same exact thing to her man, regardless of if the man went to another country or not. Okay, if you were to stay in America, it's literally a social fact that women are always going to want the man to earn more than them, right? It's a fact. There's no denying it. There is no study that has ever proven that women prefer a man who makes equal or lesser than her. It's never come out one time, right? Never. Right? So what's the difference if a man is doing it in North America or he's doing it in Thailand? He's doing the same shit. Right? Again, if you had the intelligence of a woman, you can try to walk around, but like I said, anything a woman can bring up an argument, just ask her 3 questions into it and it falls apart pretty fast, and she always has to run away or act like she has to go somewhere because you're requiring genuine articulated thought. Most women don't have that, right? At all. Most women just don't have that ability to articulate, the perspectives and have genuine valid arguments and fights and thoughts. Most women are just not going to have that. As soon as you dive 2 to 3 questions in, she's going to have to run away or leave, or she's going to fall in love with you and ask you, what do you think? And then she'll try to weave her way into following you then. Most women cannot sit there and hold a genuine debate and keep it going. They just can't do it because they're not intelligent enough in reality. Right? Like I said, in America, if you go to a woman, well, anywhere on earth, doesn't matter where you are. I'm just using America as an example, but let's say if the whole planet was the United States of Amazon Prime, right? and there was no borders or nothing, right? It was just all, or the United Kingdom of Amazon Prime, or the fucking USSR of Amazon, whatever the fuck. I'm not trying to use America as saying like we're number one. It doesn't matter, right? Throw that out. Let's just say we just call all this shit Earth, ERF, right? It would be that you would come to the same conclusion. If that woman was used to earning 40,000 trinkets a month, she's going to want a man who's going to earn at least 70,000 trinkets a month. Right? If you went to the middle of butt-fuck wakazagui, wakasakajajui, right? I don't know what the fuck, I just made it up. Right? If you went to butt-fuck wakasakajui and you asked the bitches there, okay, how much do you earn? And they say, well, I earn about 17 DDops a day. And you ask, okay, well, how much would you prefer a man make? About 30. Right? She's never gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't care, he can earn the same as me. That's gonna be a rare answer, right? She's gonna prefer a man who makes more. It doesn't matter the currency, doesn't matter the country. If you go to, let's say, a poor and struggling area in India, right? But there's a rich community in there, and that woman is used to earning 40,000 ketawops a month. Make up a fucking curve. Doesn't matter, right? That woman in her lifestyle, she's used to that. She's in that rich community. So she's going to want a man who makes more than her, right? Even if she lives in a poor area and all that, but her lifestyle, she's used to that. See, it's not so much. And see, these topics is where women, they just can't follow. It takes too much thought to follow it because it's too basic reality. It's too much basic reality, which is oppression to woman's thought process, right? But again, it's what that woman is used to. It doesn't matter what country she's. I mean, the countries can matter now because some countries are just flat out richer than others. But even if you strip that out, that woman, it does. Even if you strip out the dynamic of what country you're from, if you live on the water, you live by land, you live by a lake, you live on a mountain, whatever the fuck, right? Strip all that out, you're gonna come back to the same conclusion. She wants a man to protect her. Nowadays, we just do it with numbers and coins, and we do it with numbers now. Whereas 20,000 years ago, we did it with physical strength and the ability to hunt, right? Like I said a long time ago, if you take Elon Musk back 20,000 years, he gonna catch hell trying to find a bitch because he can't do nothing, right? If you take Donald Trump, if you take Donald Trump back 20,000 years and be like, go out there and find a bitch to marry, he can't do nothing. What he can't do nothing with that money. That money he has no power there because they not using money yet. That's not the currency. The currency in that time is find ways to protect, stay dry, stay warm, and hunt for food or find some food. It ain't, see, back 20,000 years ago, you can't go to the ATM and go to McDonald's, right? He can't bring them skyscrapers. Okay, let's even say if Donald Trump could bring that skyscraper with him back. Let's say let's say Elon Musk or Donald Trump went out there. Let's say we had a time machine, right, and a teleporter, and he could take a fucking Rolls Royce. He could take 20 Rolls Royces, 3 skyscrapers, 15 mansions, and an iPhone and 30 iPhone 26s to back 20,000 years, right? The only thing he would actually be able to use is the skyscrapers for shelter, right? But even then, he can't keep up the maintenance on that shit himself, right? He don't know how to fix an elevator, right? He don't know ain't no electricity because there ain't no generators around nowhere, right? So all he would essentially have is a cave, right? And on top of that, the cave's gonna fall down because he don't know how to do nothing. He can't do anything with it. Right? He don't know what to do. So his form of currency would mean nothing if he went back 20,000 years. At 10,000 years, it would mean nothing. In 1,000 years, he couldn't do anything with it for long. It's just what women perceive as valuable at that time, right? It doesn't have to actually be valuable. It's just, like I say all the time, you could wrap dog shit in gold paper, and women will buy it because it's gold, and they figure gold must be valuable, so they'll buy it. Don't even have to be real gold, just the color gold. Some women will buy it, or write diamonds on it. They'll buy it. Physical strength. It's raining men. Hallelujah. I remember I was with my uncle, right, one time in the car, right? And he was gay, right? But we never talked about it. Like it was nothing we ever like said out loud. Like I just knew, like we knew he was gay type of shit, right? And I remember we was driving somewhere and that song came on, that it's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining. And he started dancing and go like, oh yeah, they used to play this in the club. I'm not even joking. He said shit. Because we was in the car and I looked over. He was like, oh yeah, they used to play this in the club. Like, what clubs are you going to? But I just thought that was funny because I'll never forget that time. He said, yo, yeah, they used to play this in the club. It's raining men. That shit was cool. We had a lot of little situations like that. Because I remember when so this is another side note. So everybody he ever knew was always very nice. It wasn't like, everybody, so I'm not trying to make fun of him. But, I remember we went to Cleveland one time because he had to have surgery. I remember he started but he would never tell me what the surgery was for. We had to go to Cleveland Clinic. So for those of you who don't know what Cleveland Clinic is like one of the best hospitals in the world. And when you go to Cleveland Clinic, it's in Cleveland, Ohio. We had to drive there. And I got another funny story about it because I drove us there. But when you go to Cleveland Clinic, Cleveland Clinic is legitimately like its own city. Like it's bigger than any college campus, at least that I've ever seen. Like when you go to Cleveland Clinic, it is its own city. It's no bullshit. Like they got their own buses and everything up in that motherfucker, right? Like I did not know what I was walking into, going up in that shit, right? So I remember the side funny story is he had this Mercedes, and so this is how I got into like European cars back then because he would drive them, and he had this Mercedes, and it was and I remember we pulled over because I seen it was starting to run hot. I was like, yo, we got to get some oil, man. And, the car's running hot because I was driving because he couldn't drive long distances, and now I'm in that position. I can't drive long distances. But so I drove, and so I remember we pulled over at the gas station. I said, "Look, man, like it's burning oil." He goes, "It's not burning oil. It's a Mercedes Benz. It's not burning oil." Because leaking oil, burn oil. That's usually for like pieces of shit, right? Like, so I said, "Look, where's the oil going in? If there's no oil in here," so I pulled over because my dad was a mechanic. So like little things I still know, like to check the stick to see if it's oil on it. Make sure the car's on level ground, leave it off for about 20 minutes, and check the oil so it settles, type of shit. So did all that, wiped it off, looked at it, said, "Look, man, it's no oil. Look, and I pointed like it's supposed to be right here, and it's like down here. There's no oil. So where's the oil going?" He goes, "It's not leaking oil. It's a Mercedes Benz." So yeah, so I put oil in it so we didn't fucking melt the engine on the highway driving to Cleveland. But yeah, I remember. So when we got to Cleveland, we stayed in Heights. I can't remember the name of it, but it was something Heights, and it was some of his buddies, and they was gay, right? So we was talking, and he had kids, but it was one of them beautiful houses. It was like on a lake. It was on a lake. I had never lived on a lake before, or never been on a lake until that was my first time doing it. And it was like it was some shit you see like in like Huckleberry Finn or some shit like that, right? Like it was like on a fucking lake, and you could see the waterfall coming. It was just amazing shit. And the driveway was like one of them driveways that you like, you pull in one way, stop in front of the house, and then you drive out the other way type shit, some shit like that. Like I had never seen anything like that before. When it was in the millions of dollars of houses type of shit. And it was built like, that tip like that, like how you see like some California houses look type of shit in movies. It was like that, right? And they had a grand piano in there, all types of shit. But they was cool. They was real nice, man. Um, and they was a gay couple, right? And it was two dudes. And I remember, so we had dinner, we talking shit, hanging out, whatever. And so they was telling me how, because I asked like, well, what do the kids like? What are you guys doing about the kids? Like, do they know? And say, oh no, well the kids don't know. So my boyfriend. That sounds even hard for me to say out loud. My boyfriend, he sleeps in the pool house, and then like at night, like I sneak over to the pool house and go in there and sleep with him while the kids be upstairs sleep. So the kids think he's just like a buddy sleeping in the pool house type shit, right? But they were real nice, man. And I think he sold insurance at the Cleveland Clinic or something like that. But he made really great money. They were like doing very well for themselves. Um, but yeah, my uncle, he had to have surgery up there, and he would never tell me what it was. But he just started bleeding, like it looked like he was bleeding like out his dick or something, because he had blood like come out of his pants at one point. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like he never told me he would never tell me what the problem was. Like, but looking back, the fact that he had to go to Cleveland Clinic for it, that it must have been some real shit. It wasn't, this motherfucker didn't have a head cold to be admitted to Cleveland Clinic. So it must have been. We stayed there for a while, man, and yeah, it was a great time. Like I said, lived in $1 million house, millions of dollars a house when I was there on a lake. We had a I was heavy in the piano back then, so I remember I played the piano a lot. Great time, man. It was a really great time. I'm always being Mercedes. That's the joke. Word. Next anniversary, I'm giving my girl dog shit. Can't wait to see. What's up, Chill Bill? What's up, man? I forgot why I even started that whole rant. Fuck. I gotta finish this article. It's 9:30. Okay, so where we at? Jareem Imam, 33, was shocked her dating app prospect specifically requested chill girls only. I didn't really understand what that meant. Imam, who works in tech, told the Post. But ultimately, it was clear over time, going on dates with some of these individuals, that a chill girl had very specific connotations. That one of them was essentially not asking for too much in a relationship. Yeah, so she essentially dated, yeah, like the 10% of guys who actually are successful in online dating. Wow, because look at her, like she ain't even all that. Well, let's see her real fast. I think what's getting ready to happen is sevens, women who are like sixes and sevens are now trying to get demanding. Like they're stretching their level of demands, stretching that shit.
Death of the chill girl.
The chill girl benefits no one, yet so many people are obsessed with her. Let's talk about it. The chill girl, the cool girl, the girl that's just like the guys,
This
the
girl's
pick-me
a
girl.
7
They're all
at
the
best.
same girl. These are girls that have been conditioned to essentially not vocalize their feelings in order to make sure that they come off as being relaxed and that they don't challenge the person that they're with in any form of way that may make the other person uncomfortable. For example,
This
if
is
you look on dating apps
society,
now,
man.
there are so many people that say, I want a chill girl to date, which is sort of code for two things. One, they don't really want to define a relationship or don't know what they're looking for. Two, they don't want to be with someone they consider a nag. But not being able to share how you feel in a relationship is inherently bad for both individuals. It creates a destabilizing situation, which leads to someone being really unhappy. And that causes more problems later on.
I meant to post. So thanks for the donation, Cincinnati Red. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Let me see if I can make that come back up. Can I do it? Oh, wait, here it is. Oh, why? It's hidden. I gotta move it up. You move that up. One more. There. There it is. Thanks a lot, man. I ain't trying to leave you dirty like that and hide it and shit. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. I want to hurry up to talk before I lose my train of thought. So yeah, this is the society that we're in now. Now, this girl, this one can get away with that, right? And not just because of like colorism. I'm going to be clear about that. It's not because of colorism, but she can get away with being wild and all that, right? And whatever this little bottom picture is right here, let me see if I can zoom in right on it. It's not letting me zoom in. Hang on. See she can get away, the whatever that is, with a picture like that, she can get away with being wild, and a motherfucker will still put up with her. Being wild and demanding, right? They might be the same. Is this the same two bitches? I don't know. But this,
Death of the chill girl.
The chill girl benefits no one.
See, this, you pushing it. See, you mean, like, I was on Facebook probably about a week ago, right? And I stumbled upon, it was this fat black bitch, right? And she goes, look, some women don't just care about money, but if you go out with me, you paying for everything. And she's like this fat black bitch, right? Like, I mean, not attractive at all, right? And she's like, you got to pay for everything if you take me out, because I know my worth, I know my value. Almost like that Cheesecake Factory one. You know what I mean? Like, she was worse looking than Cheesecake Factory one, to be real. She was worse looking than her. The Cheesecake Factory one wasn't too bad, but she was pushing her limits. She pushed her limits too. But what we have going on now, at least, or maybe I'm just late to the party because I've been out the U.S. for almost a decade now, so I'm out of touch. Hold on, I want to pause. The first girl get away. This girl can't get away with it. Okay, you got these sixes and sevens like really getting more outgoing, to say the least. You got these sixes and sevens thinking that because they just have a lot of matches on Tinder that they calling some shots. Like, yo, like 20 years ago, These same bitches will let you get away with some everything type of shit, right? Like you ghost them. This quality of woman, depending on where you at, this physical. I mean, she's not a bad looking girl, but you pushing it, bro. Right? Like you on that line, like she's not ugly. I say that she's not an ugly girl, but you pushing it. Now, like I said, this can get away with that. I mean, she's going to get away with it. I'm not saying she can. She will get away with it. The first girl, when I hit this refresh button, she can get away with it. But the main girl, Jareen, no. Let's go to her. Let's just go here. Yeah, see this old doctor up image to like trim her chin down and all this shit. That shit. Yeah, see you cutting it pretty close with them jeans, and not the ones on your legs. You cutting it pretty close. You ain't there. It may be if she got some chin surgery or some shit, then she can pull that. But yeah, you ain't that. Yeah, see, look at this shit. No, you figured out how to put on some makeup. Right? Can y'all see the one that's playing? Yeah, you can see the one that's playing. See, no. See, you pushing it too hard. We got it's too many 6s and 7s now that are getting way sixes. Okay, there's too many 7s and below that are pushing it just too hard. Right, but again, on the back end, there's always some dude is always gonna put up with her for at least a couple hours in hopes of just fucking one of her holes. And that's the only bargaining that she has in all this. Right? That's it. And she's 33. Oh, yeah, you done. Just get... And she's 33. You done. You just done. They done photo... Look, you done. She could probably pull some shit. Now she could, and be a little bit more. She's still gonna be a piece of shit, just like a fucking a 2. But she at least physically fits that. Relatively speaking, she has a big nose, but but she still physically fits that. She fits, right? She fits. You would think in this picture that she can probably, because that's just probably one of the best pictures that she has, but she don't make it. Now she can pull that off and it fits. Brittany Renner can pull it off and it fits. As long as Brittany Renner keeps putting on 15 pounds of makeup, it fits. And she doesn't get fat, it can fit, right? Let's say like Melania Trump. Let's say Melania Trump goes out there and gains about 80 pounds. It's over. That ride is over. All these demands and all that shit is over. Look at Donald Trump's ex-wife. She was check. You don't fuck with that bitch no more. She got fat. She got old and fat. These demands. Man, one guy even told her she seemed really excitable and that he wasn't looking for someone with so much drama after only talking about one of her interests. It made me feel like I couldn't be myself, the New Yorker said. Although her personality had never been an issue before, I care about a lot of things. I have big opinions, and that's okay. I like being me. Man, that's cool. For Nashville-based marketing manager, I don't even know how you say that. Linka Sipos. Not caring just not caring just wasn't sustainable. What the hell is this? Oh, it's the same goofy shit. You can't live or date someone when you're not being your authentic self and by letting things slide that you don't want to let slide, said Sipos 25, who was afraid to ruffle any feathers if she wasn't chill. We would have never been chill in our careers. We're never chill with other things that bother us, so why would we be chill with relationships? Holding back feelings in relationships causes built up frustration, which NYC dating coach Grace Gracie Lee said later bubbles over as freak out and results in a woman labeled as crazy. But she advised that having a take it or leave attitude isn't a thoughtful way to approach a relationship either. Gonzalez also advised against doing a swift 180. But generally, when folks are saying "fuck it" to something, there's still very reactive. Dating. Look, so here's the other part of why women will give horrible advice. Right? You know what I hate most about like these YouTubers who like go to people on the street and ask them, "Hey, what is it like living in Singapore?" or "What is it like living in Japan?" or "What is it like living in Dallas, Texas?" And they ask like and then they ask like an attractive woman, right? Like like dude, the attractive woman, like of course it's gonna be great, dude. Of course it's great. She ain't got to pay for no food. Of course, look, if I knew I can travel anywhere I wanted to in the world and just exist as skinny woman, you mean, and figure out how to put on makeup, and I know I can at least eat for free anywhere I go on Earth, of course I'm gonna like traveling. And on top of that, you got some education too, and you looking for a job, and you're just an attractive woman. Of course, life is gonna be easy for you. You don't know what life is like for the rest of the population. They never take advice. And then the thing, if she's ugly, well now she's mad and she's bitter because she's fucked up and ugly, right? So it's like you can't listen. Just never take any type of life advice from a woman ever, because their lives are just too extreme. This woman is a dating coach, right? Let's look. I know I'm going to regret this shit, but let's look at it anyway. Oof. We better put that makeup back on. What's her name? Grace Lee. I know I'm going to regret this. I'm just trying to see if she's actually is she married? I don't see any signs of a man. Let's go to about. Let's check out her blog. It should be in a married life, should be in a blog. I don't see any sign of a man in her life. And that's not saying she's not married, but women don't operate like men when it comes to this. I'm not saying I'm looking for any signs of a man. Uh-oh, wait, weren't you in a relationship? Uh-oh, here's somebody asking about it. It's gonna let me scroll down? It's not gonna let me scroll down. A year ago, wait, weren't you in a relationship? It's not letting me scroll down. I don't know why. Probably because I'm not logged in. But see that kind of Alfred, yeah, weren't you in a relationship? Because see, when a woman's in a relationship, you gonna see that man. I don't see any signs of her. Okay, you got a boyfriend. When was this? This was a year ago. which I don't know why you're not married, but I mean, hey, I won't hold that too much against her. So they must have broke up because I don't see because she oh trust me, if she had a boyfriend, oh in her page they gonna be sitting up with each other, so the world can see it. So this might who is this? Seeing some real age. Okay, so my boyfriend a year ago. Okay, so maybe they broke up. Maybe they broke up. So I'll just say that. I'll give her that. I'll just say they broke up. Even with that, look. So the big area of where dating coaches with okay, a male dating coach versus a woman dating coach, right? Well, and a lot of guys can be bad too, right? But it's not in the same way that women are awful, right? And so okay, so what's going on now is you okay? Let's say women go to dating coaches. Let's say they come to whatever her name is, Lee, Grace Lee. Let's say they come into Grace Lee, right? And let's say you get a woman who physically is in this realm, and then you get one in this realm, right? And this is a good looking picture because she doesn't look that good. That's just the one good looking picture where they shaped up her chin. Because we can go to her TikTok actually right now to look, right? Let's just do that just to clear up. So let's say this. Oh shit! Hang on.
Death of the chill girl.
The chill girl benefits
So I can pause it.
no
I'm trying to pause it on a good one just to give her the best benefit, right? So let's say you take this girl, or I tell you, let's get a more realistic view that's a little further out. You take this girl, and then you take, let's say this girl, right? See, these are two whole different girls in the quality of the dating market. Two completely different what they can go get away with, the results they're going to get by going out to a club, the chances of them getting into the club, you know what I mean, how many drinks they're going to get paid for while they in the club, you know what I mean, what they can wear before they go to the club. These are two whole different qualities of women. This one is 33. This one is 20 something, right? So when they go to see Grace Lee is more in tune, especially with her being Asian and what I'm seeing is what I would assume to be North America. Grace Lee, even though she's like 30, she, in the whole scheme of things, she's in with this girl, not this girl, right? Because Grace Lee, in America, Asian women do very well in North America, right? They do very well on a worse day, especially if they're attractive, like more attractive, right? So she's more in line with Asian women tend to do well in Western countries, right? Even as they age, they get categorized in that higher echelon of woman because they're just exotic, right? This is just what they can get away with, right? Which sadly can't be the same. It can't be said for Asian men. They actually get Asian and Indian men kind of get like shit on type of thing, which I think is fucked up. But this woman wouldn't know what to tell a 5, right? Because that woman ego's gonna kick in, and if the 5 starts getting mad, she's gonna start checking the 5 and tell her to know her place and all that shit like that. So in order to keep money coming in, she's got to tell the 5, oh yeah, you a 10. I mean, yeah, you a 10. You a 10. Knowing good and well that bitch ain't no 10. Knowing good and well that bitch is a 4.5, a 4 and 2/3. Right? But on the flip side, let's say like if a man makes like 35,000 a year, you can just tell him like, okay, you make 35,000 a year. These are your options. Blah blah blah. Blah, right? It just is what it is because that's what a man a lot of times is gonna be between money, conversation ability, shit like that, life experiences, university. But money's gonna be a big factor, especially in the West. right? So, but we can just straight on attack it. Okay, these are my options. This is what I do, right? Whereas women can't handle that shit. Okay. So, for example, right? If I were to show, let's use that as an example, because I'm gonna get off here in a minute. As an example, let's say if I put these pictures up, if I were to put these pictures up as posters in my flat, right? And my girl came over and seen it, right? She would immediately be angry and all that shit, right? Because they got their tits out, you know, they're blah, blah, they sexy and all that shit like that. Well, the one on the right, she had some kids, because you can tell, you see them stretch marks on her stomach. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I can see it from here. She got them stretch marks. But on the flip side, like, if we were to go to the movies, right, and Thor was up there butt naked like in the last movie, like, I don't even think twice that my girl's like looking at that motherfucker or anything, you know, because I get it, like, it just is what it is. I know the options I have to deal with, and that's it. Whereas women can't handle that the same way, right? See, a woman doesn't want to hear that she's a fucking 4. You know what I mean? Like, she can't handle that. Now, a guy can handle that shit. But a woman, she can't handle that shit. You know what I mean? Like, she can't. So with the female, all these little factors play into the part with the dating coach. With the female dating coach versus a male dating coach. Right? So in the end, women just inevitably become more and more fucked up. Like, as they grow. The only easy part is when they're just young, and is if she's just young and she can just potentially just look like that. This look right here is literally the height of being a woman. This right here is the epitome of being a woman. I'm sure I use that right. So let's use another example. So then I used this example a while back. So this woman is the queen, right? And I don't have anything against her. If anything, I would have loved to have a cup of coffee with her before she died and just talk to her, right? I don't have anything against her. It has nothing to do with her personally, right? This is just as a woman, right? See, as woman, this woman was the queen, the British queen. She was in the royal family, right? So she was pretty much the highest that any modern woman can possibly become. Pretty much, for the majority, you can count other areas, but for the most part, she's the highest that a woman could have ever become, right? Now, who do you think would really be jealous over who? This woman would be jealous over her, or she would be jealous over her, right? And let's say this one works at like Starbucks or some shit like that, right? Which one is actually the better woman to want to be with? Would it be this one, or would it be that one? Right? Let's say you was going out and you was looking for some pussy, and you mean? And y'all patrolling, yeah, looking for some pussy, and which one is just the better woman? You mean as a woman, which one is better? Is it her, or is it her? This bitch is the queen of England, and this one will fuck up your order at McDonald's, right? Which one is the better one? We already know which one's the better one, right? Okay, let's actually, I love this actress too, but let's be real about it. See, so like I love her as an actress. I'm not bashing her at all. I love her as an actress, but you go. Which one would you know what I mean? And I'm gonna let y'all go in 10 minutes, but here's a deeper part. This has always been. This is nothing that current media didn't create this because we're so misogynistic and we're so awful. Oh, let's go. Let's just look at this real fast. I put cave mint, but it should be all right. So even back in these times, okay, if you go back to these motherfuckers, right, and be like, he be like, ooga booga. Ooga booga 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 booga, right? And be like, which one is better, this one or this one? Which one do you think that motherfucker would prefer? He's misogynistic too? No. It just is what it is. Like, I mean, I didn't make it up. I didn't make up biology, right? So don't get mad at me about it. Be mad at biology. It's science. Ooga booga 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 booga, and subtitles be at the bottom. Be like ooga booga 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 ooga booga booga booga, and you put two pictures up, and he gonna be like, he ain't even gonna think about it, right? That just is what it is, right? Now, on the flip side, let's say let's say we do okay. Let's say you pick old homie. Let's say you pick just like let's say you pick him. Can you see? Yeah, let's say you pick him, or Donald Trump, right? And it ain't got nothing to do with color, but it's just like the thing, right? Right? Like if you look at it and you go ask Melania Trump, which one would she rather? You know what I'm saying? This dude probably got a 6-pack abs. You know what I mean? This motherfucker probably jumped 10, you know what I mean? He could probably at least hang on a basketball rim, right? He probably got a 6-pack. He probably work out a little bit. You got some muscle definition. Or you got this motherfucker. Like, which one would Melania pick? Well, we already know, right? Like, I mean, it's now, if you go back 10,000 years and you find a Melania Trump like as a cave woman, and you say which one would you pick? Would you pick him who might have some muscle definition, Donald Trump, or a motherfucker like him? Donald gonna fall to the bottom of that list real fast, right? Cause see, that currency back then doesn't see his currency right now would do nothing 10,000 years ago. So see, when woman's desire is always in what's valuable at that time, because woman does not define what is valuable in terms of woman doesn't know what's valuable in the world, right? It's whatever men deem valuable and is good for trade, right? Women just historically have always sat on the sidelines and waited for men to make the decision, and then they just find how they can weave their way into society, kind of into man's society. Women have never gone off and made their own country, their own cities, all completely on their own. They have it was I think it's two instances in North America where they did, but it was essentially gifted to them by men, and they were like less than I think 500 people on top of that. But they've historically never done it. See, man's what men find desirable. Hold on, is okay. It's always been the same thing. It's never changed. Men, what we find desirable has always stayed the same. It's always been essentially this: young, healthy, clean. That's it, right? Woman, well, it depends on what time period you're talking about. I mean, it depends on what time period you're talking, right? But men, you go back 10,000 years, you go back 100,000 years, you go back 200,000 years. It's gonna be the same shit. Men weren't running at a chance to go get with a Or I see even say Lori, well, she's Asian, but she's holding up her youthful appearance. I still fuck Lori Loughlin. But yeah. Yeah. Young women wear makeup to young women wear makeup to look older to attract older men, and older women wear makeup to look younger in order to attract. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? You know what's crazy? I remember I got on the train. I was coming back because I went down to the butcher to get some beef ribs, right? And I was coming back, and okay, I was coming back, and I sat on a tram, and it was this dude who was smelling like on a tram, right? Smelled like shit, terrible, right? And that's just something like I still have not adjusted to. Because in America, motherfuckers know, if you smell, motherfuckers gonna roast you, or you must be just crazy. But out here, like, man, listen, don't be surprised if motherfuckers just don't care about soap. You know what I mean? Like, here's the crazy part. Like, soap here is like, it's like 50 cent, dude. Like, it's nothing. I got bars of soap just, I'll show you. I got some bars of soap just chilling over here. You know what I mean? I got bars of soap. I got bars of soap just chilling on top of my microwave. I don't even use it. I just seen in the store this shit was like 50 cents. I said, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? It's soap. Why it's 50 cents? Why not? Right? G unit, right? It's 50. Just drop a 50 on the counter and you out. You know what I mean? Well, it's like it'd be like 16 crowns, 50, like 10 crowns or some shit like that. But I got soap just, you know what I mean? I got soap for days. These motherfuckers just be walking around, they don't be bathing, man. So like I was sitting across from him on the tram, and every time the tram stopped, like all his odor just like would just the cloud would just come in my face like about 2 stops. I said, I can't do this, man. I just got off. I got off and I waited for another tram that was going my way, right? I can't do. So, but this is just like a weird side note about makeup, because since Mr. Moji brought it up, and thanks to tuning in, Mr. Moji. I remember because this other tram came up, but it wasn't going my direction. And well, I don't think it was, because they start writing different names for some reason. So I really don't know if it's because I think there's only one tram that even comes this way. They all got to come this way, but I think some may make a stop and turn around. I don't know. But anyway, I seen one girl in a tram, beautiful girl, unbelievably beautiful. I mean, these girls look like they should be in a fucking magazine next week, like, or the same. They could just walk off the tram and just take a photo shoot for a magazine. Like, girls in Prague are unbelievable, dude. They can be just absolutely jaw dropping shit, dude. Unbelievable. And I remember I seen her, and like, I had my sunglasses on, so she couldn't see me like staring at her, because I just couldn't stop. Like, wow, like this bitch is fucking beautiful. Like, and she was wearing like little to no makeup. You can tell when they're wearing makeup. Like, she was wearing like little to no makeup and was just absolutely just stunning. And then like in the next car, as it pulled off, there was another girl who was beautiful, but she was wearing like 15 pounds of makeup, right? And she was, beautiful because of the makeup, but it's that thing. But yeah, I was just thinking about how, like, if they just don't wear makeup, and like some girls can just be absolutely, just jaw dropping beautiful, right? And then some just are addicted to that caked on, 20 pounds of makeup. But the good thing is, when they do cake on makeup here, they at least still do a good job of it, but it still looks like a mask. But they do a much better job with makeup here than the majority of women I've ever seen in North America wear makeup. I only knew one girl who wore makeup, and that was a girl I used to work with in a tutoring lab, and that was a girl who, when guys would come in all day trying to just every 15 minutes, it felt like, trying to flirt with her or trying to find a way to indirectly go in her direction. But we even ended up becoming, and she ended up becoming more of a little sister, because we talked about all types of shit, because we sat at the same table and we just we ended up talking a lot. And she was the only girl in North America that I've ever known who genuinely put on her makeup so well to where, like, you really just couldn't even tell, right? And I told her that, I had to ask, like, where'd you learn how to do makeup? Because, like, the girls here just did the makeup's terrible, and she said she learned, she took a class at Mac school, at a Mac makeup through Macy's or something like that. But she also grew up with awareness of the world. Her family and her family's friends were like all around her. I remember she showed me a picture of, like, her uncle had married this girl in Africa. They lived in, I mean, she was a black girl, and they were like living like on some type of, like, they were living on the water somewhere. I think it was Africa, or it was South America somewhere, maybe. But she had been around, so she knew the world. She wasn't like a typical Ohio white girl, you know what I mean? Like that, where to her she was like almost a rock and roll star for hanging out with an educated black dude type of thing. Like you see for those of you in the U.S., like you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a certain population of white girls in the U.S. For them, it's like they're kind of like being the rock star for hanging out with just a black guy kind of thing. She wasn't like that. The girl I'm talking about, she had a true awareness of the world. So it wasn't like it wasn't an extracurricular thing for her. You can tell, like it wasn't like an extracurricular. She was just like completely normal. You don't come across that a lot. That was the girl I told you a while back. She dated the Argentina guy, and that guy, like, he dumped her, and she went off and dated another Argentina guy after that. And I doubt the second guy ever even knows why, because she got alpha widowed. But she was always great, man. I always loved her. She ended up being a little sister, like a little sister to me. Because I remember when I was walking in Chescalipa, and I was talking to my dad, and he needed some work done on his teeth, and I remembered that her father was a dentist, so I immediately wrote her, and she immediately wrote back and said, hey, yeah, just here's my dad's telephone number, just call him and tell him that I sent you, and you ain't got to worry about nothing. And I told my dad, but he ended up not going, and it just fell apart. But yeah, I miss her. I really needed, I really should write her sometimes. It's been a while since I talked to her. It's been years actually since I wrote her, but yeah. But yeah, it's 10:02, so I'm gonna get out of here. LML, he stinks like those people in anime cons and Yu-Gi-Oh competitions. I've never been to any of those, man. I want to go, but yeah, I don't get the like. You mean it's soap? You mean it's soap? Soap, a good deodorant. And if you into cologne. Some guys aren't into cologne. I get that because, I would have never touched cologne until my uncle, who, he was gay, but he taught me like a little hygiene things. Now, I'm not the most perfect guy with I'll go date. Like if I'm home alone, it's like nothing to do, and I'm sick. I won't take a bath for like 2 days. If it's just me here, like I'm not gonna act like I'm like hyper, into like, being perfected with hygiene type of shit. I'm not going to pretend like I'm that type of dude. I'll totally go like 2 days without taking a shower. If I'm like just chilling at home, and it's just me, I'll easily fuck around and go 2. The max I'll go is about 3 or 4. Then I'm like, yeah, okay, I got to go take a shower. But yeah, man, it's soap, dude. It's like soap and water. Because here's the thing: I get that people can just be poor. I get dude. I started off college living in homeless shelters. Like I totally understand that you have nothing. Like I get that. Like you just going out there in the world, you have nothing. Like your family can have some shit, but you have nothing, right? So I understand what it's like to have nothing, right? And soap is usually one of the easiest things to get, right? Like that's usually, if it's not cheap or free, somebody will give it to you, right? If you just say like, yo, I need some soap, right? So a motherfucker will give you some soap. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like an iPhone 12. You know what I mean? Like it's soap, bro. Like a motherfucker will give you soap before they give you food or change. Like, if you walked up to a motherfucker and be like, yo, I need some, a motherfucker would give you soap before they would give you spare change. Right, because if you say soap, then that means okay, like you need some soap, like you're fucked up, right? Like for example, I remember when I was in the U.S., this dude came. I was going through a drive-through at a McDonald's, and this dude came up and asked me for some money. I said, "Nah, I ain't got no money," and so he was like, "All right," because he said he needed money to get something to eat. Right, and I said I don't have any money, and I usually don't. I usually only carry cards, and I've always been like that because you can get the money back if somebody steals the card. You can't get your cash back if you drop the cash on the street and it's gone. So I've always carried cards. So I remember I went through the drive-through and I got him 2 McChickens, right? And I walked over to him. I said, "Here, man, here's here," and he looked at it. He said, "Oh no, I'm cool. I don't want McChicken," right? Like, bro, you sitting out in the drive-through lane begging for change. Take this McChicken. You're not hungry now, but you might be hungry later, even if you own drugs. Take this McChicken, fam. It's $1. Back then it was $1, But yeah, if you walk up to a motherfucker and ask for soap, if you specifically say like I need soap, a motherfucker would give you some soap. I mean, like you be like, yo, hey man, like I don't mean to freak you out. I just need. Now, some people will still ignore you. Don't get me wrong, because you're just a homeless. You're just a weird homeless dude to them. But they'll give you some homeless shelters. They'll always have soap. You go to any homeless shelter, they always gonna have some soap up in there. They always gonna have some bars of soap. You gonna find some soap. So when these motherfuckers see, because here's the thing. I think most people on Earth who've never been homeless in any kind of way, they don't really understand like the true cycle of being homeless and the realities of being homeless. So I think since they don't understand it, just kind of just like write it off as just, ugh, just get away from me, bum. But like there's different cycles and ways how to tell if they're like really struggling or they're just like ignorant kind of thing, or they're ignorant or just, passive about their hygiene. Like homeless does not equal stinking, right? It totally doesn't. Homeless does not immediately equal stinking. Now, it can equal that. Like the only ways that I would say are valid if for a homeless person to smell is if they have a dog, right? Because if they have a dog, then I don't know if there's any country that would allow this as a norm. But if you have a dog and you're homeless, most people they don't want to give up their dogs because they see their dogs as family, which I can understand that. But the fucked up part is homeless shelters usually won't take you with a dog, because if you have a dog and that dog bites somebody, while they staying there, well, that homeless shelter's in charge of that and they go get in trouble for it. So most people, you can't go to a homeless shelter with a dog, right? And that's going to be a norm, I would say, in most countries, because the homeless shelter is going to be liable for that dog. And dogs, they unpredictable. They can be unpredictable, right? So that would be the only case where I would say, okay, like, you cool to be smelling, because I get it. Like, they not gonna let you in, so now they probably won't get you soap, because they don't want it to, to create any situation with you with this dog. I get that's about the only way. But outside of that, no, bro, you can always get soap and get it. So when a motherfucker be smelling like that on the street, unless it's like, burning up hot outside, and you then it's a little more acceptable. A place like Europe, because they don't do air conditioning out here like that. Because I think in the U.S., like 90% of households and residential areas have air conditioning, where in Europe it's the exact opposite, like 10%, like 15%, and nobody has air conditioning out here like that. So in the summertime, I can work with it, but like now, no, it's no excuse, bro. You think about buying a beer, when you think about buying a beer, buy a bar soap. When you think about buying a bag of potato chips, buy some soap. Right? So potato chips ain't even healthy for you, fam. They fucked up. When you think about buying a honey bun, buy a bar soap. It's not rocket science. Soap, water, that'll fix a whole lot. It's not gonna fix everything, but it fix a whole lot. All right. Soap. And then the next step is some good deodorant. I personally believe it should be illegal to sell Speed Stick. I think it should be illegal. I think a lot of deodorant makers should be put in prison, because deodorants a lot of deodorants and antiperspirants just don't work. So here, the good deodorant that I found over here is Dove. Over here in Czech Republic is Dove. Now, when I was in America, at least when I used to live there, I used Degree. Degree was about the only reliable deodorant. And I use antiperspirant deodorant. Those are the only two. All the other ones were a fucking waste. The spray-on deodorants, all the other shit is a waste of time, dude. So my girl, like, so and this is the weird part, right? And I think it's a cultural thing. I think, like, with the concept of sweat, like biology, like, at least what I find is that I don't think a lot of Czechs really understand this, right? So here's another thing I don't understand, and I'm gonna go back to deodorant. Let me hold deodorant out so I don't lose my train of thought. See, look, I just got spare deodorant. I just sit it there, and I got others down here, right? See, this is what I'm talking, like, it's just a basic understanding, right? Just deodorant and soap sitting on my desk casually, you know what I mean? But One thing I understand, so people like to get on us Westerners because we wear our shoes in the house, right? We walk around the street and wear our shoes in the house, which I can understand that, right? After living here for a while, I can see how they can view that as nasty because we walk around the streets, or whatever. But typically in more Western countries, we don't walk around streets that long because we drive a lot more. So I think that's a part that's missing from, let's say, like a lot of Czechs' perspective on it. But I can still see their point, right? You're walking out, and then you walk in the house and just walk all on the carpet and in the floor, so it's technically spreading germs. But in the same logic, they'll go sit down on trams and buses and trains where homeless people and piss themselves, dogs will sit up on it, whatever. They'll sit all in the trains and trams and McDonald's and they come home and lay in the bed. Right? So it's like the scientific logic really isn't there. Like it's not there. Yeah, like you don't get the stomach flu or a cold most of the times. You don't get the stomach flu or the cold from walking outside or walking in the house, but you get that shit from sitting down in a chair somebody that have been coughing in and just drop some droplets on the chair and you go sitting in there, rolled around in the goddamn bed or sit on the couch with it. Like that's more, and here's another myth about Europe's cleanliness with food is how they ban certain substances. When in reality, America actually bans more dangerous substances than all of Europe does. It's really wild shit to look into. Like go because I'm gonna leave you guys in a minute, but go look into the banned substances from America and banned substances in Europe. And Europe actually uses more dangerous substances in their foods than North America. The only area where Europe does do a much better job is with the amount of salt and sugar in their food, even from like American companies, right? Even like McDonald's, they have to tone it down over here, like because or they can't. So sugar and salt is the only areas where Europe does do better with their foods, and every other area America does better as far as banned substances and the threat of substances, right? Okay, yeah. So what I was going to say is when it comes to deodorant, right? So my girl, she was so impressed at my deodorant, right? When we first started dating, she was like, "I can still smell it, and it's I can still smell. I can smell it in your clothes, because she could smell my cologne, like because I always spray my underwear with cologne because I hate to be like sweaty and fuck around, start smelling when I'm out. And I used to put deodorant like on my fucking balls and dick, but it just like started. I didn't get rashes, but it just started getting weird, so I just stopped doing it. So I rather just spray like cologne like on my underwear or like inside my pants kind of thing. That's something I do. So one thing I found that was weird was that when we started dating, she started paying more attention to antiperspirants and deodorant. So I had to explain to her like, no, the antiperspirant is gonna stop you from sweating, whereas deodorant it just strictly just covers up the odor. So essentially, it's just a fancy perfume at that point, right? And that's another thing, and it's not just to her. Like, I think they just don't pay that much attention to this shit, right? Like the whole concept of like bathing in a pool, like from ancient Greece, like they something. I'm sounding xenophobic, but I'm just saying my flat out opinion. Like they don't really get that, like cleanliness in this regard. Like it's really kind of mismatched view on it, kind of thing, or severely contradicting. So when we were talking about when we talk about antiperspirants and deodorant, she went out and got the spray on shit, right? And I said, no, don't use it because it's horrible. The spray on deodorant, it might work once or twice, but you'll sweat like crazy after. Like once your body gets used to it, it's gonna break and you're just gonna sweat through your fucking shirt. Because I tried it, it doesn't work. And I started buying her some of these to get her to use them. Not because she smelled or anything, but just because I don't, if you around me, I don't want you to be uncomfortable, right? So I'll buy you this shit. So she even said one day she went to work and she wiped on one arm with my deodorant and used the other arm with spray on deodorant. And she said by the time she left, like this arm was just like leaking with sweat and this one was still like perfectly fine, right? But here's the weird part is that even after that, she'll still go back and use the spray on shit. Like, you. What? Why? We've just come to a scientific conclusion I mean, like, so why are you not using proper, why? You put yourself through this. Why? Like, I think the only deodorants here that should be legally allowed. Old Spice, another one doesn't work. Antiperspirant deodorant, it's just overall just a low quality. I think they should just be shut down. I don't know how they're still in business. Maybe maybe they don't know there's deodorant that actually works longer than 2 hours, and maybe they're selling to those people. But I think Old Spice need to be shut down. Well, I can't think of another one right. Is Speed Stick. They need to be sued. Um, I can't think of any other ones because I ain't been in the U.S. in so long. I'm trying to think of other brands. Dove in the U.S. isn't that good. Dove here is much better. Dove in the U.S. isn't. Dove, I would put them down. I would, they be on probation. They need to be on for letting people buy that shit. What's another one? The Old Spice is one because you got Old Spice is here too. It's that big red one. Everybody knows Old Spice is the red one. You can't miss Old Spice. That's another reason why I think they need a class action lawsuit because that shit's terrible. Just- look. I'm gonna show you. Here's all the deodorants I got right now. I got the antiperspirants and deodorants and I ain't even pulled. Oh, and I got another one right here. I got antiperspirants and deodorants for days. And I got just two random soaps I just had laying around. I got more soaps in there. I got multiple soaps in there. Soaps. That's all you need, fam. That's all you like. Look, a good soap, a good deodorant, and if you into cologne, then cologne, right? I'm down to my last bottle of cologne, mostly just because I just don't feel like buying another bottle. I'll be honest about it. But I'm down. I got Savage right now, and I'm down. I'm running low on that. I think it's out there in the corridor. I'm running low on my cologne, right? But I'm always gonna have some cologne. That's just where I am now. Because the thing is, the great part about cologne is one, don't always only spray like maximum 2 sprays on you because after that you're gonna overdo it, right? But the other part of great about cologne is you stop smelling it. So like when she does my laundry, all she smells is cologne in my clothes when I can't even smell it. And I was like, so she'll come to me and ask me if I could smell it. And I, if anything, I smell my own odor in it from like sweating it or something like that. She smells the cologne in it. I can't even smell the shit, right? This still smells pretty good. What's this? Passion fruit and mango. I think I'm gonna use this. It smells pretty good. Yeah, the gel deodorants. Yeah. I think Axe. That's another one. Axe is garbage. That's just what the young kids use it because they think Axe is that super duper. There's like something super duper cheap in it, like cheap male cologne. Women have very good cheap perfume, but men's cologne is very separated, and it's probably done on purpose to get men to spend more on it. But cheap men's cologne, like really cheap men's cologne, Axe is in that fits that deodorant cologne territory, where it has this particular. I don't know what it is, and I would love if somebody is into like who studies aromas or something. I don't know what the field would be called, but they know what I'm talking about. There's this specific smell that just is just cheap, and I don't know what it is, and that's how you can always tell if it's a cheap cologne or if they put any effort into it. And if somebody knows what I'm talking about, and Axe has it, you can always smell it from a mile. It doesn't smell bad, but you just know, and it's annoying. Arm & Hammer was good. Yeah, Arm & Hammer. Yeah, Arm & Hammer was good. Arm & Hammer. Yeah, Tom's. I've heard good things about Tom's. I heard good things about Tom's. I don't think I've ever used Tom's, but I've heard good things about them. I used to use Arm & Hammer before I used Degree. Arm & Hammer with their soap. Arm & Hammer's a laundry detergent and deodorant. I used to use theirs because theirs is yellow. I think it's been because they don't have Arm & Hammer here. But so it's been a while since I've used it. But Arm & Hammer's, and now in America, I just use Tide. At least I grew to only using Tide because Tide was just the only fully reliable soap to wash my clothes with. The others, Arm& Hammer was good, but it wasn't. Tide was just, to me, Tide was worth the extra cost for the fragrance and the cleaning quality. Arm & Hammer was good. Don't get me wrong. I would recommend Arm & Hammer, but Tide was the best for me. That was the best, and every other soap was just complete. Something just made a noise. Every other soap was just complete garbage. I just couldn't. It was just pathetic. So in Czech Republic, their version of Tide is Ariel. Actually, I can show you their version of soap. Is their version of Tide. Their best soap is this. Actually, so if you want to get if you want to get some soap that you ain't got to worry about, right? Right, you get Ariel. Don't get anything else, right? If you want it and when you buy this motherfucker, like, you gonna be good. Ain't gonna be I hope this gets the smell out. No, it's gonna get the smell out. You go get Ariel. Just like in America, you get Tide. Don't fuck with none of them other motherfuckers, because it's a chance it may not work. Right? You get Tide. Now, Arm & Hammer is good. I used Arm & Hammer for a long time, but when I made that jump to Tide, and it's a relatively expensive jump. It's gonna cost about $3, $4, $5 extra, but it's worth it. My thing is function. If I'll spend more money if it's better quality. If it's overall going to be like just a dominant quality for my, functional end goal type of shit. I'm not going to buy a Lamborghini to drive to Walmart. That's just a waste of money. But, in the terms of like getting clothes clean, like something you got to do get you Tide. Tide is, at least maybe the quality's gone down since I've been out the U.S. I've been out 7 years, so I don't know. But when I was there, Tide was, you get the liquid. Don't fuck with that pod. I don't fuck with those pods. I don't fuck with the pods. I tried a few times with the pods. I just didn't have anywhere near the same level of freshness. Maybe I was picking the wrong cycle or something. I don't know. I tried the pods, and they just didn't work for me. Yeah, get you that. It was even a picture of me holding it. Get the Tide, bruh. Get the Tide. But yeah, a good, and for real, you really don't even have to get like an expensive soap as long as you just have some lotion, like, because all soap is just fat. That's all it is. You really don't like. So when it comes to soap, you can really cheap out on soap. I'll spend a little more on bath soap. Because, okay, so the reason why a lot of cheaper soaps will be cheaper, in my opinion, is because the cheaper soaps will not have any sense of like moisturizing along with it. So like after you take a shower with it, my skin is always like super dry after using like cheap soap, like Irish Spring, those cheaper soaps. My skin would always be like super dry. But when I started investing in the more expensive like shower soaps, then I wouldn't be anywhere near as like dehydrated after I bathe type of thing. So like if you get a cheaper soap, well, now you're just gonna have to buy lotion. You're gonna need lotion. So it's like the price is gonna end up being the same, however you go. So it's like you might as well just get the more expensive soap and get like a less expensive lotion, and then you be better. In my opinion, I think that's better. Or you could just get expensive both if you're just, got the money and don't care. I'm not saying, I'm going towards a more efficient, my path when I was poor in college. Like, that's what I would do. So you can really cheap out on soap. I would say, if you had to pick one to go all out on, like with shoes, like with clothing, I would say shoes is the number one priority. Because you can buy, with clothing, you can buy everything else secondhand, and pretty much except underwear, But with clothing, you could buy everything else. I buy a lot of clothes secondhand now because I just don't care anymore. But shoes is the one area where you want to get that new, and and maybe even spend a little more, is depending on the quality of it. But cologne, for men, cologne. Don't cheap out on cologne. You can cheap out with the soap. You could cheap out with lotion, you could, depend on the type of lotion, but don't cheap. If you're gonna pick one to go all out on, I would say the cologne is the one you go out on, and cheap out on the soap and the lotion. Like with clothes, you can get away with wearing cheap clothes, but it's the shoes that's really gonna put it all together, right? Like I said a long time ago, if you can show up in a in a $3,500 suit, but if you got some shoes that look super duper cheap, well, the whole thing's fucking away. The whole thing's gone, right? like you've lost the whole image. If you're interested in that, right? You may not be interested in it, but if you're interested in it, yeah, that's how you lose it all. But on the flip side, you could wear just like a decent, just a well-fitting pair of jeans and a good, a good quality t-shirt, and wear just some nice shoes. Well, it all still, it still goes. It all can, grow into something based off society standards. Like I get it. Some people just don't care, which is fine. I got a good friend of mine. He just doesn't care. My electricity's in his name, by the way, actually. Is that friend. He doesn't give a fuck about, clothing and shit like that. He just doesn't care. And it's cool. I don't like roast him. I don't make fun of him about it. Nothing like that. We never even brought it up. Never even comes up in conversation. But yeah, I gotta go, man. Eu de toilette. Eu de toilette. I prefer shower gels over bar soap. Yeah, I use shower gel. Yeah, I used to use a lot of Dove soap here. Dove here is better than it is in North America. I used to use a lot of Dove, but then I switched to a blue bottle. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's actually really good. It's a really good soap. But I always use gels too. I used to use bars when I was a kid, but I just use gel with a loofah with that little loofah ball thing. But cool water. Yeah. Cool water. Yeah, I know cool water. Yeah. How are you need I'm gonna get off here, but yeah, Acorn, yeah, the pods, I never the same level of efficiency with it. I tried using pods when I went back to the US for like that month or two, and it was just nowhere near the same efficiency as liquid Tide was just the best. The pods I tried, no, it was just nowhere near. Just as with the pods, you don't have to use like I don't use fabric softeners in dry. I quit drying my clothes on a whole anyway because it kind of destroys the clothes in many cases. So I stopped using dryers anyway. Um, Well, you get that fabric softener. Yeah, the fabric softener to wash it in. And I think fabric softener destroyed a lot of my clothes too. So I quit using that. Actually, my ex-wife used to use fabric softener, and it just destroyed my like the texture of the jeans. It just destroyed it. Like just you can tell like something had happened to them, kind of thing. It didn't destroy them, but they were off. I use black soap. Never heard of black soap. Cheap smelling often means there's a sharp rubbing alcohol quality from the cheap alcohol being used, or for oils, they use cheap oil that smells oily like cooking grease. Yeah, yeah. I wonder what the actual like chemical or like structure, maybe from a reaction or something. I wonder what the actual like specific thing and like Axe that smell is. Like you always know it's Axe. Oh, there's no mistaking when somebody's wearing Axe or some cheap version of Axe. You always know. There's no mistaking it. Like as soon as you smell Axe, as soon as I smell Axe, I immediately look to see where a teenager is. And hopefully it's not a grown man wearing Axe. You always know. You always know. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because it's 10:30. So yeah, y'all have a good night, man. Do you consider yourself a passport bro? No, because I was doing this before, and I didn't even come here on the intention of being a passport dude. I did this, I think before that was a term, but I never really intended on coming here for a woman kind of thing. I always knew I wouldn't marry an American woman, but I don't consider myself a passport bro. No, if anything, like I was doing it before that was like, I was traveling. Well, I was, no, no, to answer your question, no. I'm gonna get out of here because I don't want to go on another long rant. But yeah, I'll let y'all guys go because I gotta go. You have a good night, evening, day. And it looks like I fixed the stuttering problem in the stream for gaming, so I'll probably start playing more racing games soon. But yeah, so I'll let y'all go, man. Peace out. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. Like, subscribe, by the way. I'm horrible at saying thank you for anything in life. It's just something I've never gotten good at. But yeah, thank you. I'm out.